Knicks Real Talk. Let's get it.
Time for divine shot, KJ events. This real talk's the brand. You understand how we do, my man. I'm on that Friday night Nick shit, dripping in Nick shit. Up in the world, most famous arena with the click. That's the conglomerate. The Knicks Real Talk, the real prominent. I'm a bit like the Omicron variant, dominant. Paying homage to the cats in the chat. That's where it's at. Cause I'm hearing that. You don't care for hyperbole, you straight facts. We interact with the mob, the gods. Up in the pod, the squad, the facade. My entourage be on the job, my energy. 50 tripping and 10 boots. As they cook my game plan, let my brand for loot and pursuit. Going hard like the New York City gritty committee. Cause that the Knicks we know is pretty, but we all stay giddy. But we embrace the fan base like the late Anthony Mace. We create the logo when there's hair space that appear like square space. Staring down on the Chase Bridge, look at that Knicks City drip. And 50 Dexys on the court, looking pretty legit. I stay true to the orange and blue. I thought you knew for him a few bars to shine like stars divine on Mount Mars. Knicks Real Talk. Here we go, let's go.
Knicks Real Talk right here, I'm representing
Knicks Real Talk.
right here. Let's get it.
Here we go, let's go.
We here in the building.
Knicks Real Talk.
Let's get it.
Here we go, let's go.
Yeah, for real. Yes, sir.
Knicks Real Talk.
We here.
Here we go,
in the
let's go.
building. Let's get it. Let's get it. Yeah, for real. Yes, sir.
Let's get it.
Yo, salute. What's good, everybody? Welcome. Knicks Real Talk. Let's get it. We in the building. Divine Shot Hours in the building. We're going to get a pop tonight. Talk a little Knicks stuff, man. But first and foremost, how everybody doing out there? Hope y'all having a great Saturday and all that good stuff, man. I'm glad to be in the building with you guys. And ladies and gents, excuse me. But yeah, we're going to talk a little Knicks tonight, man. Talk about a couple of things going on out there, man, with the powerful noise of Julius Randle and the Knicks maybe wanting to move him possible from the noise out there that's in the atmosphere. We're going to get into the pop of MELO might be returning to New York. That would be interesting to talk about tonight. We're going to get into that as well. And I'm going to talk about the duo of Donovan Mitchell and RJ Barrett, if that would take place properly. We're going to talk about RJ Barrett, if him and the Donovan Mitchell collab, if Randle's not here, and how that's going to be dynamic doing New York. So we're going to break all that down, get into all that, and just talk some Knicks tonight, man. So like I said, salute to everybody out there, wherever you're streaming in from. Thank y'all for coming in. Real talk, man. I appreciate y'all. But we here, man. Salute to the chat. That's where it's at. You already know. I'm glad to see y'all. I appreciate that. I know Shop Power do have an echo here. Get that together. But salute to everybody, man. JJ, Emil, Cash Out, everybody, man. Tim Smith, my man. Salute, G-Man. Appreciate y'all getting in tonight, man. But yeah, man, everything is good, man. Shop House, what's up?
Salute, Divine. Salute to the chat. Let's get it.
Yeah, real talk, man. Listen, man. It's been a crazy week, crazy summer, you could pretty much say, but especially the last week with the trade speculation out there with Donovan Mitchell and things like that. We also hearing the Knicks was willing to move Julius Randle without giving up a pick with him. So that's interesting to talk about because, man, knowing that that's reality and that's real, knowing that the Knicks will be willing to do that. That's kind of interesting to me, man. And that they be willing to move Julius Randle, but they don't want to give up no picks to move him. But I think if opportunity knocks, they have to get into that. So we're gonna get into that, man, because that's really interesting, man, with that situation, knowing that, you know, if we do acquire Donovan Mitchell and we re-sign RJ, we got Brunson, Mitchell, Mitchell Robinson, all of them on 4-year deals. All of them got full 4 or 5 year deal, 4 years for most of them, depending on what they do with RJ. So, you know, when they hear that thing about Julius Randle, maybe Phoenix. I mean, it's all speculation out there to me. It's out there on Twitter, it's out there, all out there. So ain't no sources coming from here. But being that it's out here, I figured that we would bring it to the forefront today. But that would be real interesting if the Knicks do decide to move on from Julius Randle, and maybe they feel like they got a better chance of growing with RJ. And there's something interesting I'm gonna bring up in the chat on the show later on. I'm gonna show you RJ Barrett stats, and I'm gonna show you Julius Randle stats. And you're going to be surprised by some of the things you may see. So I do want to get that out there, and I'm going to put that out there, man, and let you guys see these numbers, man. It's kind of interesting to me. So, you know, but just to know that noise is out there, you know, we're going to talk about it. You know, Julius Randle's, you know, he's 50-50 in the organization now. Might be a little more or less after last year with the little trial and tribulations he went through on the court with as far as the attitude thing and all that good stuff. So a lot of people soured on him a little bit in New York land. And some people still support his skills, which I do. I support his skill set. I support his talent. But it's going to be really interesting to see how the fan base embrace him moving forward. You know, but as I'm out there on a lot of these Twitter and everything like that, some people are good with moving him. You know, I think the man is a real good dude, man. I think he got game But for me, it's interesting to know that if that's true, the Knicks put him in trade talks, then that tells you something different than we might be thinking. So, man, whether we want to keep him here or not, if the Knicks organization feel like the Knicks can be better without him, then that's gonna be something to see. Yeah, and so and to know that's out there in the atmosphere and everything like that. Julius Randle's speculation like that. So, if that's true, like I said, it's really interesting. You know what I mean? We didn't think that could be, but you just never know in today's NBA how things kind of come to the forefront and everything like that, man. Because you ain't tapped into the sources, then you don't know. But just for that to be out there is interesting because we all on this board and a lot of other shows out there and Nick Land and Nick Nation and all that. Some of us want Julius Randle out of here. Some of them want him to stay. I like for my preference. I told y'all last year when the season was over, if it's going to be a problem with the way he had to adjust to what he went through last year, then I'd rather move on from him. If that only for that reason, not the talent, skill set, and everything, but if he done lost a little bit of the fan base, I think you should get ahead and move him. Because it's going to be, you don't want to see him in the garden getting booed and all that. It just bring the whole atmosphere down. Other than that, I think Julius Randle was a talent. So, if they keep him, that's fine. They move him, that's fine with me as well. As long as the team get better, no matter what, I'm good with that. So, pretty interesting, guys. It really is for me. When I heard of it, I say, yeah, it's a 50-50 thing. But I understand it from a couple of standpoints of extending RJ Barrett, not having 5 guys on the starting lineup, making 20 or 4 guys at least making over $20 million each. You know what I mean? Other than Mitchell Robinson at 15. So, they have Randle, RJ, Donovan Mitchell, if he get here, and Jalen Brunson all making $20 million or more in that starting lineup. I don't know if the Knicks comfortable with that, but or they just feel like, he might not be able to rebound from what he went through last year with the fan base. So we'll see. But that's interesting, guys. You guys give me your thoughts on that, man. What y'all think about that, the Julius Randle situation. Because I do think that's interesting that's out there. And yeah, absolutely, Fred. We're going to get into that as well, man. I think we're going to get into that, and I'm good with that when it comes to Donovan Mitchell things. So I think that's going to happen. I'm really confident that's going to happen. Real talk, man. Let me bring my partner crime back in the building. Shop Powers. I think got a little echo.
Is it still me? Damn.
Let me see you guys say something. See, yeah.
You hear me?
Yeah, I hear you good, but when I speak, I hear echo.
Let me try to go back. I will come back out and come back in.
Okay. Yeah, we had Shop House back in the middle. Excuse me, got a little bit of technical difficulty, but the brother, he'd be back in the building. Technology world is something else sometime. But yeah, man, I think that's interesting. That Julius Randle thing is out there. You know what I mean? We talked about it, like I said. So, it's tough, man. It's tough. It's a tough situation because I'm one of the guys and Julius Randle came to New York, embraced the city, embraced what we had going on here. I'm a big Julius Randle guy. I thought the skill set is like that. But I just think last year, man, he put a contract. Yeah, he got that bag, and I guess he didn't handle it the way he thought he needed to handle it. But I don't know whether the pressure. Think about it. Coming into the season, having wife pregnant, all this stuff, having another kid, and you getting that bag for the New York Knicks. Now, what did the pressure get to him? You know what I mean? And I agree with you, Keith. I don't put stock into it, but being that it's out there, I put it out there because it's out there and people talking about it. I don't. If it ain't, like I said, if it ain't coming from Woj, if it ain't coming from Shams, I don't even get caught up in it. But just to have content for the program and it's out there in the universe, we got to put it out there. So it could be ruined, it cannot be. Who knows? We'll see. But I do know. We talked about this all the time last year on the stream or the past season. What happened with Julius Randle. But at the same time, I could see it being a reality too, Shot Power, because like I said, they might want to kind of relinquish that contract so they can give RJ Barrett some money and whether it's Obi Toppin here or Obi Toppin Khan, then and another topic in the situation was with the MELO. So we're gonna talk about that a little later on. But I can understand why the Knicks would do it though.
I missed a little bit of everything. Peace to the chat. Peace to you, Divine. Anything? It's some crazy things about to happen. Yeah, Frank Matos, you ain't lying. It's about to be some crazy things about to happen. Just know, Knicks fans, don't be surprised if one of your favorite Knicks is going to be traded. All right, just brace for it now. Embrace it. You know what I mean? Because for what we're giving up and for what we're getting back. And at that token, I listen and follow up on you, Divine.
Yeah. You know, it's like like I was telling the chat and everybody out there where you're streaming them from, appreciate you. That last year we talked about this a lot last year. You know, what I mean, because we thought that when he went through the little trial of tribulations he went through, we really thought that was a bad stain on him. You know what I mean? And it didn't look good coming from a Knicks perspective. Which is interesting to me. And it could be just passion. You know what I mean? It could be just Julius Randle's passion for the game. It's not about throwing shade at Julius Randle, because Julius Randle carried the franchise a couple of years ago to the playoffs, him and RJ Barrett. So it's never about throwing shade at him. But I just think from a perspective, like we said, I'm talking about it because it's out there. You know what I mean? But will it make sense for the Knicks? And I think that's the most important thing. Will it make sense for the Knicks to move them? Do they think they can function better? Because think about it, if they get down to Mitchell, and they got all four of them guys in that lineup. That's gonna be that's gonna be a lot of ball domination, shot powers. You know what I mean? And everybody needs the ball, so the Knicks might feel like, you know what? If we do get a suitor for him, it might be best to do that. You know what I mean? Just to clear that spot, maybe give Obi, if Obi ain't in a deal, or give Obi a spot or whatever. You know what I mean? And it's interesting because from what I've seen out there, hypothetically, ladies and gentlemen, out there, and Nick Twitter was Jay Crowder, Cameron Payne, and somebody else with Julius Randle on the second pick. That's what somebody got out there. You know what I mean? But it's interesting to see, man. But I like Julius Randle, but I do think that if we go through any slump this year, it's going to be interesting in New York City, man. Real talk.
Well, I'm at this with Julius Randle. Julius Randle is a great player, man, and I'll take nothing away from how he plays how he plays basketball. That 20-10-5 we always speak about is something that Julius Randle always comes to the table and tries to do every year. Let it be known right now, right now at this second, Julius player is our best player on the team. So, and to say that is big for Julius Randle. Now, the part of Julius Randle that encouraged me a little bit to turn away from him a little bit is the way he played the ball, how he played. It wasn't how he played ball last year. It was what he did during the season that perturbed me a little bit. You know what I mean? But last year he was the main focus of the offense, so I take that into consideration too. But my thing with Julius Randle right now is how is his team going to fit? Does Julius Randle fit? It's not. I don't take nothing away of how Julius Randle plays the ball, but I don't know if him and RJ really fit together. You know what I mean? I don't think him and RJ plays that well together. That's just my opinion. And if we can move Julius Randle, which it looks unlikely, but if there is some chatter out there about him moving because a couple of teams are looking for power forwards, and if we can move him, it would ease up the possessions for us. With now, if we get Donovan Mitchell, we're gonna have Donovan Mitchell that needs the ball. Brunson's going to have the ball in his hands, Julius Randle and RJ right now. If we can move on from Julius Randle and open it up for RJ a little bit more, Donovan Mitchell can take hands of give the points that Julius Randle gave last year and stuff like that. And it's possible that the offense may flow a little better, a little different, a little quicker. More pace to the ball and stuff like that with Donovan and Mitchell coming down the court. They'll probably have a little bit more pace to the basketball game. So I'm if we can get rid of Julius Randle, I hate to say get rid of. If we can move on from Julius Randle, fine. If we keep Julius Randle, I also think with Brunson on the team, even if we don't get Mitchell, I think Brunson's going to change Julius Randle's game. Remember, the best year that Julius had, and all the almighty 4 seed, salute to state. The almighty 4 seed is Julius Randle had a point guard. You know what I mean? And he had and everybody tears this guy up all the time about Peyton. And I think Brunson can facilitate a little better for Julius Randle to get his shot off.
Yeah. You know what's interesting about that whole thing with the dynamic of all that? I'm gonna put some stats up, and I want y'all to check out these stats. I'm gonna throw up here in a few minutes. And the dynamic with that to me is it's not so much that Julius Randle is not skilled. It seems like the Knicks offense sometimes feeds when he's got the ball. You understand what I'm saying? Shot powers. Sometimes when you go to Julius Randle, everything stands still.
Facts.
It stands still. And it's not maybe a knock on Julius Randle more than maybe the coaching staff is not saying Julius Randle unless they're doing it the wrong way. To me, if you can swing the ball around the court, the perimeter. Now, if you get down to 8-7 seconds, you don't got a shot. Then you can go to Julius Randle. You know what I mean? You can go to him with maybe 7-8 second shots left. Seconds left. I'm sorry.
Excuse me.
Yeah, let him do his thing. But I think sometimes when the offense just gets. And I noticed that just from, over the years, but then at the same time, I watched when Julius Randle went down last year. Did you see how them cats was playing basketball? Up and down the court, pace, you know what I mean? Listen, guys, I want to make sure I'm understood here. I'm not knocking Julius Randle. What I'm just trying to do is bring all the variables to the table about how does the offense flow in the end. If you get Donovan Mitchell, how is that 4 tandem going to work? Somebody got to be able to will not to have the ball in their hand, and I think that goes to you look back at any team in the league who that progress or further in the playoffs is that they got somebody who willing to sacrifice not wanting the ball. They don't got to score to play the game. In other words, they don't got to score. They can affect the game in a lot of other ways. If you bring all 4 of them to the table, Jalen Brunson, Julius Randle, RJ Barrett, and Donovan Mitchell. You almost created the same problem you had this year with, Fournier and Kemba Walker or Alex Burks. You pretty much create the same problem with more talent. I think Donovan Mitchell and Brunson is better than Evan Fournier and Kemba Walker or Alex Burks all day, every day. So you really create the same problem you had last year. Too many people who need the ball. You know what I mean? And I think that's where the Julius Randle and Donovan Mitchell and RJ, the Brunson things come into play because somebody got to be willing, like, you know what? That's the difference between Obi Toppin. Because Obi Toppin say, you know what? All you got to do is throw me the ball in the corner if I knock down a 3, or I can put the ball on the floor and go to the hole. I don't need my ball in the hand to score a point. Somebody can pass me the ball and I can make points. Whereas a lot of them other guys, they not catch and shoot dudes. Once I get the rock, I gotta go get it. I gotta go get it because that's the way I play. So that's what's really interesting to me is that, you just got to have a guy who might don't need the ball in their hand. You're going to have all 4 of them in there. So that's where the Knicks might be looking at. They might be saying, you know what? Hey, we might can get rid of the contract. We might can bring in somebody that's maybe not as good as him, but can handle that position. Let's say even if it's Obi Toppin give you 15 to 17 a game, then the guy on the bench come in, whether it's Carmelo Anthony or anybody, because that noise is out there. That's why I said that. Let's say if he on the bench backing up Obi Toppin and he giving you 12 to 13 a game, and Obi giving you 17, well, that caps Julius Randle's 20. So that's 30 points a game. You're getting that's like getting Julius Randle's points and 10 from the bench. So that's where the dilemma coming for the Knicks. And I think that's why that noise is out there. I really believe that it's not out there just to be out there. And but we'll see. We'll talk about it. But here, real quick, guys, check out this here. I'm gonna bring up Julius Randle stats. And I'm going to bring up RJ stats. And I want you guys to see something because it's going to be interesting. I'm going to go back and forth with it. If you look at Julius Randle's numbers, I'm going to put them right here. We could get with it. As you look at Julius Randle's numbers last year, you know what his career is. His career, he averaged 17 a game in his career, 17.7. Shot 47% from the field. This is his career. And he only shot 33% from the three-point line. Now, this career stats. And the only year he ever shot over 35 was that year. All of them shot. RJ, all of them. Look at Julius Randle's numbers: 27, 27, 22, 34, 27, 30. So other than the 1 year he had the year before, he never shot league average. Never shot league average and from the three-point line. And his career three-point percentage is only 33%. He shoot good from the two-point area, which is 47%. Foul tech is ice 74, and he shot 17 a game. Now check out RJ Barrett's career stats, minus some shorter games, but look at his career stats compared to Julius Randle, and it's kind of amazing to me. Here go RJ Barrett. He only scoring 2 percentage points less than Julius Randle in his career. Julius Randle 17.7, RJ Barrett 17.5. Julius Randle shoots 33% or 30% from the 3-point line.
33 or something like that.
RJ Barrett shoots 35 in his career, 0.7, almost 38. Julius Randle, obviously, Julius Randle got 4 more rebounds. But remember, Julius Randle's playing a power forward position where you're going to be there to get rebounds. RJ Barrett is a 2 guard, so when they're on the defense, he's out on the perimeter. So obviously his rebound is not going to be like Julius Randle, because Julius Randle, pretty much his guy, he plays in the inside, and RJ Barrett's guy is on, but he's still averaging 5.6 in his career. 2 percentage points less than the points. He shoots better from the 3-point line. Julius Randle shoots 74%. Obviously, he shoots 69% from the foul tech line. So the Knicks might be feeling like this, shot Howard. The cat got just as good as numbers as Julius Randle. Grant is only 3 years, but Julius Randle been in the league 8 years. He averaged 17.7. He's been in the league 3 years. They averaged 17.5. They both scored 20 points a game last year. The year before that, they all had good years. All of them. You know, I don't know what it could have been affected at. So I just brought that up to say that the Knicks could be looking at that in a lot of ways. You know what I mean, Shot Power? Like, you know what? You look at his numbers and you look at Julius Randle's numbers. He, from the 2-point area, you got to give Julius Randle. You got to remember, guys, the reason Julius Randle is a power forward playing in the inside, so he get a lot of shots closer to the basket. You know, and that's the reason why, you know, his percentage is going to be higher than RJ, because RJ is either outside shooter or going down to the hill. You remember, Julius Randle in the course of his career, he was in the post. He was in the post. He could dominate in the post, and he can get to the lane. All I'm just saying is that if you look at the numbers, you can understand why you might see what some people may think. Because, like I said, you take the year before last, all the Knicks had a good year. You come back to last year, Julius Randle shot 30% from 3. RJ shot 34%. You know what I mean? He shot 34%. Julius Randle shot 30%. So he scored 20 points a game. RJ scored 20 points a game. They both get the same amount of touches, basically. So that's the reason why I can understand why the Knicks might say, well, you know what? RJ Barrett only been in the league 3 years, going on the 4th. Julius Randle going on his 8th. He's younger. So Julius Randle contract could be up in what, 2000? I mean, when he 32 years old? You give RJ a contract, his contract could be up when he's 26. So I can understand why the Knicks might feel that way. You know what I mean? Not because of the talent, just from the point of the organization standpoint, so you can get power forwards. They come a dime a dozen shot power. Anybody, it's hard to get guards and wings as opposed to getting power forwards. So I can understand why people may feel that way. And I'm not saying that's what it is, but remember what RJ Barrett did too, guys. I mean, in his second year in his league, he helped take the Knicks to the playoffs. Second leader scorer on a team that won 41 games. So, you know what I mean? You know, Julius Randle scored that year, but he was the second leading scorer that went to the playoffs. You know what I mean? And so it's kind of interesting, Shot Power. That's why I brought that up. I want everybody to see that believe it or not, you look at his numbers, and he still got a chance to show and prove. You know, Julius Randle can get better as he get older, but then this dude right here, RJ Barrett, is 22 years old, and he did 4 years yet. So that's why I think that's interesting, why that noise might be out there, and I can see why the Knicks might do that, to be honest with you.
Well, I can say I can say this. I think if it was a choice of moving, and I mean, this is where we got to ask, you know, the Knicks fans. I mean, the front office probably already know, but just for us to know, which would we rather, what we prefer right now? Moving someone like a RJ Barrett, which is out there, and I think some hoopla information out there, or moving Julius Randle. What would make the team a little bit better? Do we think that RJ is going to come in this year and be more efficient? Do we think that RJ is going to come in here and develop a mid-range game and not shoot as many three-pointers this year? Do we think that his efficiency is going to be better going to the hole? And if he could bring it up from 41% to 49%, 51%, you know, in efficiency, you know, if he shoots 3 or 4 3-pointers, can he hit two of the threes, you know, or be closer to a 50% per night shooting threes and stuff like that? I mean, it's some big things. Do we have more confidence in what RJ can do, or are we more confident in what Julius Randle has done? You know what I mean? So that's the big dilemma right now. And I mean, I stick to my guns with RJ. I think RJ should stay here. I don't think is he going to get a super max or something like? I mean, the max. I don't know if he's going to get that number. I hope that he can work a deal where he can be here for a couple of years and be satisfied with the number that he gets. You know what I mean? And hopefully it doesn't he doesn't get overpaid, because the Randle, I don't know. I think Randle will have a better year this year. I think he's going to try to have a more bounce back type of year this year. And I don't think but the big thing I'm saying, if we get Donovan Mitchell, is Julius Randle going to be a number 3? Or is RJ going to be a number 3? You know, which one is going to be, or is RJ going to be number 4? You know, or is Julius Randle going to be a number 4? Now we've seen from Julius Randle that he can be you know, an off the ball scorer. He did that with the what's the team with, oh man, I can't brain freeze right now. Pelicans, right? Pelicans, New Orleans Pelicans, yeah. He played off the ball that year. You know what I mean? He wasn't the primary person on that team that year, and he played well. Anthony Davis was the primary player. He played, you know, he was like the second or third player and he still scored around 20 points a game. You know, if we could get that part of Julius Randle here with Donovan Mitchell, where he can facilitate a little bit more, because I with Julius Randle here, I mean, he's our number 1 assist leader. Excuse me. So if you give the ball to Julius with Donovan Mitchell and Brunson on at the top of the keys and stuff, I mean at the top of the point, you know, he may have a better year this year. You know what I mean? He may be able to facilitate a little bit better. His assists may go up this year. You know, he may be closer to 12, 14 assists this year with these 2 guys on the team. So it's, you know, it's something, you know, to try to. I don't think Julius is going nowhere anyway. I think he's stuck in our contract. He's going to be here for a couple of years. So let's see what happens.
Yeah, real quick. Let me reiterate to the chat, to Ala Wise and to Keith Turner. I didn't say RJ Barrett got the Knicks to the playoff. I say he was part of a team. Think about it. If RJ Barrett didn't score 17 points a game that season, the Knicks was not going to the playoffs. I know Derrick Rose and Julius Randle if the whole team got it to the playoffs. It was not Julius Randle, it wasn't RJ by himself, it wasn't Derrick Rose, it was the whole team. But RJ Barrett was a 17-point scorer on that Knicks team who got to the playoffs. If you take RJ Barrett 17 points a game off that Knicks team that year, the Knicks is not getting in the playoffs. Because Derrick Rose only scored 14. Nobody else on that team could score more than RJ. It was Randle, RJ, and Derrick Rose.
That was it.
If you take RJ Barrett off the Knicks that year, Knicks is not getting in the playoffs. Period. Because he's the second leader scorer on that team. I'm not saying RJ is better than Randle. I'm not trying to say that. But at the same time, we got to stop taking this cat and making like the cat is a scrub. 14 points a game in his rookie year. The next year, 17.6 a game. In his third year, 20 points a game. The cat got better every year. And in his rookie year, look who he had to play with. Mook Morris. He had Mook Morris there, Randle there, Bobby Portis there. You had all these power forwards. He came into his rookie year with guys who's already established. You know, like they trying to fight for playoff, for roster spots. And compared to like usually when you get drafted at number 3 in the league, you usually going to a rebuild team. You going to a team that's just rebuilding. That's why they were in the lottery. But see, what the Knicks went wrong with RJ Barrett, the year he got drafted, they decided to go away from the rebuild and bring in Portis. Bring in Todd Gibson, bring in Mook Morris, bring in Noel, bring in all these guys who was like, you know what, you should have stayed with the rebuild and let RJ Barrett just took the keys and let him make his mistakes. But nah, they went the other way because they had to spend the money to hit the cap situation because they had so much of it. But I do think that compared to like John Morant and a lot of these guys, RJ Barrett came into a team that they built to try to go to the playoffs, which was the wrong thing to do. Maybe that's the reason why Steve Mills got axed. Like, yo, you should have stayed with the rebuild. Let Kevin Knox been the small forward that year again. He had a good rookie year. So I just say that to say that we gotta kind of give RJ Barrett his respect, man. This cat, every year he been in the league, he got better. Look at his numbers and look at Randle's numbers. I'm not saying he's better than Randle. All I'm saying is the Knicks, from a financial standpoint, might be he's younger. He put up almost the same numbers, and we can keep him longer. And opposed to Julius Randle, they might say, well, I can get a power forward. There's many power forwards who can give you 17 or 18 a game in the NBA. Hey, Julius Randle's not exempt from that I'm just saying, when you look at what's needed in the NBA right now, point guards and wings opposed to power forwards. You know what I mean? So I think the Knicks might be saying, well, you know what? If I can get rid of that 4 year with that player option he got, give it to RJ. We drafted him. We love him here. Tom Thibodeau love him. Let him grow with the organization. That's what the Knicks might be thinking. They might not. They didn't draft Julius Randle. You know what I mean? They bought him here as a free agent. You know what I mean? They might feel like this. RJ is going to be part of this coach. You know, and Tibbs love him. Tibbs love everything about his character, his work ethic. So that's the reason why these things got to come up. Because I don't think that if you keep Julius Randle here, it's going to be hard with Donovan Mitchell and all them guys, man. I do not see how that's going to work with 4 guys. First of all, Jalen Brunson is the point guard. He needs the ball in his hand. He's the one going to be facilitating the offense. So when you kick that ball to Julius Randle or RJ, they got to swing it back to Donovan Mitchell. Shit, who's going to shoot the ball? I just think, and then not only that, we got a team there other than Mitchell Robinson and Shaw Powers, everybody under 6'9". Everybody. So it's interesting. It's not about his talent. Sometimes guys, you know, you might have somebody that you like, but you might got to let him go. You might have to let him go. He might not. Because you might want to say, I'm going another way. It makes sense for the franchise, not so much, you know, the player. You know, and that's why I think it's interesting that that name been out there. And then we'll see. He might not go nowhere. Julius Randle, I don't want him to go nowhere personally, but I can understand what the Knicks might do. If Julius Randle been hanging with the Knicks and they can work that thing out, I think they got a good solid team down there. The starting five is probably real nice with him, Mitchell, if he come here, with Brunson, RJ, and Mitchell Robinson. I love that squad. But if the Knicks move, my understanding, Shop Hours. That's basically what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, I mean, that's exactly how I feel too. I think because I've looked at it like this, I can really see Julius Randle flourishing with Brunson and Donovan on the court, because you're gonna have one time down the court. This way, Julius should never have the ball in his hand. It should only be Brunson and Donovan Ball bringing the ball up. That I could see Brunson bringing the ball up on the left side, or Donovan bringing the ball on the right side to set up. Julius Randle should be down setting himself up. They get the ball down, they make the 2 passes within each other, Brunson to Donovan or vice versa, and then they kick it out to one of the wings. And that's simple. Once you kick it out to one of the wings, it's time for them to flourish. And I mean, if they go down, they get the ball around 8 seconds left, they go down, they get in trouble, they'll still have time to kick it out. And you got 2 good shooters on the wings right now. You got Brunson and you got Mitchell. You know what I mean? So if Julius I think Julius will dominate playing that bully ball down court. He should not shoot a 3-pointer unless he's wide open for a 3-pointer this year. His percentage from 3-pointers should be 80%. So he should only shoot 1 or 2 a game. I mean, his mid-range game should be awesome this year. They should be able to set him up where he can catch the ball and shoot, and his back to the basket. These guys get the ball to him 8 seconds. He make the move, drop step, go to the basket. He should be dominating this year. I mean, so these are the things that I think if we keep him, it can possibly work out. You know what I mean? I see Donovan coming down the right side and Brunson coming down the left side. And Donovan and RJ is going to build a better rapport on the right side. And I think Brunson and Julius is going to develop a good culture down on the left side. And if they could bring them both, if both the left and the right goes to the middle, we win a lot of games.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see, man. It's gonna be real interesting how this thing play out. And that's why I brought it up, man, because it can be the elephant in the room going to the season. But you know, the reason why I brought that, because if this is true from the Knicks perspective, and the Knicks is trying to move them, then really, that's the reason why we having debate. That it's not that nobody don't like Julius Randle. If the New York Knicks is truly trying to chop Julius Randle, what do that tell all of us? You know what I mean? If the Knicks are doing it, if the Knicks ain't doing it, it's irrelevant. But if the New York Knicks is literally willing to trade Julius Randle, then everything we talking about in this chat, it got to be the reason why they doing it. They ain't, so no matter what, we're gonna speak just from our perspective on what we think it is. And that's what I try to do. I try to put myself in the Knicks situation,
Facts.
and what they would do. Not about, because I don't pay Julius Randle, so I can't really say what. But I try to put myself in the Knicks organization, why they would do it or why they won't do it. And I think the reason why they might do it is because they feel like they can see RJ getting better as the years go on, and they think they got a good solid player in this league who might average 20-something games. That's what the way I might see it. You know what I mean? It's like Knicks might feel RJ Barrett can be a cornerstone for them. He's young. He only 22. They might see a lot of things that we not seeing. And Julius Randle, 8 years in the league. He's a talented dude, man. And if he stay, I just want to see it work. You know what I mean? That's what I want to see. If Julius Randle stay, and if Donovan Mitchell come here, that's Tom Thibodeau's job to make all this stuff work. They just got to, and I think they can. Julius Randle carried the Knicks on his back a couple of years to go to the playoffs. Like I said, we don't understand what Julius Randle did for the franchise. If Julius Randle didn't have that year he had a couple of years ago, the Knicks wouldn't be nowhere. You know what I mean? The man is that talented. You know what I mean? But so we got to see how it goes moving forward. You know what I mean? But like I put up these numbers right here, like at the same time, you can't say that RJ Barrett's maturation is not like Julius Randle's when it comes to every stage of his career. And that's why I put that up there. Julius Randle, every year he got better, and scoring wise, 11, 13, 16, 21, 19. Then that year he had 24, and the last year he had 20. And that goes the same thing for RJ Barrett, 14, 17, 20. 17.5 in his career, Julius Randle 17.7. But the cat shooting 35% in his career, Julius Randle shooting 33%. So it's a lot of reasons that Knicks might see things like that. He shot one year, he shot 44%. That was the year he had a great year. But we know how it go, man. Whatever Knicks gonna do, they're gonna do. But I tell you what, I'm excited either way I go. I think we got good talent down here. I'm not too concerned about what the Knicks got going on. Whether with Julius Randle, I think they're gonna be good. I know that for a fact. I think the Knicks gonna be pretty decent, man. And I think with Julius Randle here, we still win. If Donovan Mitchell with Julius Randle here, we win 50 games. So it's not like if Julius Randle not here, that I don't think we're gonna be good. I think if with Julius Randle here, we're better. But if you move him and something happen to also come out that makes him just as good, then who knows? But yeah, the other elephant in the room I want to talk about, guys, is the noise about one of our legend brothers in New York, the Me 7-0, talking about he wouldn't mind returning back to the Knicks, Carmelo Anthony. Will be interested in joining the Knicks. And that's another one, Shot Powers, that some people with it, some people not. You know what I mean? So that's another one that's interested in Carmelo Anthony back in the Knicks uniform. That's another interesting topic to me. You know what I mean? What do you think? Would you welcome his return back to New York?
The way I feel, I don't think we're moving on from Julius Randle. And I think if the trade goes down for Donovan Mitchell, don't kill me, Knicks fans, but I think IQ and Obi is going in the trade with Fournier. With that being said, I would love to bring back MELO to be on that second unit. Could you imagine MELO and and D Rose on the second unit, running the second unit team with if we don't move Reddish and Hardenstein and stuff like that, that could be a formidable second unit, two primetime veteran guys that could come in 12 to 16, maybe 18 minutes a game, probably give you a production of about 10 to 14 points a night from both of those guys for the second unit. That's a stunning second unit, So I can see if we make a move, if we don't get MELO, if we don't move Obi or Randle. So that's basically the bottom line. If we don't move if we don't move Obi or if we don't move Randle, we don't get MELO here. So I would love to see him back here. I think if they could stay healthy, MELO and D Rose playing that second unit, man, that's crushed, man. I mean, I wish we could call them, 10 years ago or something like that. Those two guys, 10 years ago, to see those two guys, there'll probably be some starting caliber guys right there. But to see them in the second unit playing about 12, let's say 14 to 18 minutes a game, yeah, I can see that happen. I can see that happening.
Yeah, real cool. That the last offer the Knicks put out there on that Mitchell thing was Obi Toppin, Fournier. I think it was Grimes or McBride. Excuse me, might have been Bride, and it was five picks. I don't know how many was unprotected. That was the last thing I seen out there.
3 and 2, wasn't it? Something like 3 unprotected and two protected or something like that.
Yeah,
I think I've seen something like that.
Yeah, here's the thing with me, with the MELO situation. Because the Knicks are trying to be a playoff team. Because they're trying to go to the playoffs. Obviously, and what do you need? You need a guy like MELO in the playoff because he got experience. From that standpoint, and what he could do with a basketball, and here it is again. I'll bring it up again. Last year, Carmelo Anthony, and for the Lakers, had a good year last year. 69 games, 26 minutes a game, 13 points a game, 4 rebounds, 1 assist. But think, he shot 37% from the 3-point line. He shot 40% from the floor. No Knick did that last year. You understand what I'm saying? That's the reason why he shot 44%. Nobody, not Julius Randle, not RJ Barrett, none of them cats shot about 40% last year from the Knicks.
Mm-hmm.
He shot 83 from the charity stripe, 37% from the almost 38% from the 3-point line, 44% from the floor. He got to excuse me, let me get that right, guys. Rebound, got to 4 rebounds in 26 minutes. And he played 69 games. So he doing what Alice Berkson did last year.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And giving you that playoff experience. So if I really believe if the Knicks were to move Julius Randle or Obi Toppin, I think they would sign MELO. Because he can get down in the playoffs. And I think they would do that. I think they would do it just due to the fact he only gonna cost you about $2 million. You know what I mean? And if they get to the playoffs, what they strive. If you bring Donovan Mitchell here with Jalen Brunson, he's trying to fight for the playoffs, obviously. So I think they would do that. The Knicks would do it just because of his playoff experience. Especially if you lose Obi Toppin and them guys to get in the Mitchell trade. I think the Knicks would bring him back.
Yeah, I mean, could you just think of the second unit as D Rose, Grimes, Reddish, MELO, and Hartenstein as your second unit? I can see that as a pretty formidable second unit. You know what I mean? I mean that's all with moving. It depends on who and how they move, but with the way they speculating things, Obi Toppin may be one of them. I've been saying Obi Toppin and IQ for the longest, man. I think those two guys are the guys that I don't think they're moving on from Julius, so that's why I said Obi. I would hate to sit and watch Obi this year and only get 14 points a night. I mean, 14 minutes a night, 16 minutes a night. I mean, 16 minutes a night. That would kill us. I mean, I don't want to say it'll kill his career, but he's not elevating his game. If he goes to somewhere like Utah, he's going to get about 25 to 35 minutes a game easily, man. You'll be able to see if we could have MELO. I think MELO comes if one of those guys go, and I think Obi is the guy that's going to be,
I can see that as well. So I think you hit that right on the head. If they do the Donovan thing, you might lose Obi Toppin. But here's another thing, everything out there, it don't have to be Keith Turner, just to answer your point. It don't really got to be clickbait. Some people got reliable sources. You know what I mean? Some sources could be true. I mean, here's another thing why you can put 2 and 2 together. Do you think James Dolan and Carmelo Anthony had a dinner together out in Los Angeles? I'm gonna tell you what the reason why that was, Shot Power, because the other part of the Knicks conglomerate, like Steve Mills and all them, they wasn't there. I think they were either in summer league or they was doing something out there. So James Dolan had dinner with Carmelo Anthony, come in like, listen, I would love to retire, Nick. Blah blah blah. Him and James Dolan could have had that conversation at a restaurant. Listen, think about it. Melo ain't signed with nobody yet. He could have signed with, if the Lakers won, he could have signed there. So you can't think that it might be hyperbole, because listen, what are you going to sit down and talk to Melo had about the birds and the bees? Hey, James Dolan come on, everybody probably had a conversation, like, you know what, Melo, what you want to do? You ready to end your career this way? Especially if he said a ring it won't stay in his career, but he might feel he might come here and go out in a Knicks uniform. And what that would do, it'll give us some firepower to play with. if we make these moves the other way. So I don't think it would be hyperbole. I really don't. I think this athlete can be probably not. I'm not saying it's gonna happen because it's out there, guys. We talk about it. Salute to the chat. Y'all got it popping up in there. Y'all keep that thing moving because it's out there in the atmosphere. That's how we create content. Sometimes we talk about what's out there. So and whether it's true or not, I can definitely see it happening just due to the fact of all the connections. He played here. When Carmelo Anthony got here, the Knicks wasn't doing nothing. They wasn't doing nothing. That man took us, soon he got here, he took us to the playoffs. What happened when Melo left? We ain't did nothing since until last year, the year before. So the man made an impact on the organization. And, he might feel like, what, I want to retire Nick or I want to retire Denver Nugget. And right now, we can use Carmelo Anthony's scoring ability, his experience, and when we get to the playoffs. We're gonna need, because look what happened when we got to the playoffs the year before. Only two players had a good playoff that year when we went against Atlanta was Derrick Rose, Todd Gibson, and Obi Toppin. Them two. Todd Gibson and Derrick Rose, the ones that had the best playoff game we had when we played Atlanta that series. Everybody else wasn't ready for it. Carmelo Anthony been there, done that. You know what I mean? He done went against the criminal league. So this, his numbers don't lie, guys. He put up 13 points a game and shot 44%, shot 37%. And wasn't too many Knicks did that last year. Literally wasn't no Knicks that shot that last year, except for maybe from a field goal position with Obi Toppin and Mitchell Robinson. Everybody else was like 40, 39, 40%. Even Fournier. So I know it was interesting to bring up, and I don't have a problem with it. I think if they move Obi Toppin or Randle, I have no problem bringing that cat in here. You move one of them if you have to. I'm hoping you don't move Obi Toppin or Randle. I like the team the way it's presently constructed. If we still get Mitchell, I don't want to lose Obi Toppin and the core young guys. I'm talking about Grimes, Quickly, Obi Toppin, and RJ. Them four right there. I don't hope the Knicks don't lose them. But you might have to lose one of them. But if it's Obi Toppin, then I can see they might go and do it. Because they trying to get and play in the playoffs, man. They ain't build no team to be rebuilding. Knicks done with that. Now when you got four guys making $100 million, no more rebuilding going on here. They trying to put cats here who gonna get in the playoffs to help them win some games, at least get into the second, third round. That's what they about. So I think he'd make a big difference. We had to see shot power, but I'm good either way. I like Melo. I got no problem. I think he could do wonders for Obi Toppin. He do wonders for Julius Randle. That man know what to do with the basketball. That can you imagine Obi Toppin in the gym with Melo learning how to use the footwork? Melo teaching Obi Toppin game. Man, please. He need cats like that around him. So it'll be interesting to see what you think about that.
I mean, aside from if both players at the power forward position, whoever stays would benefit from having a Melo there to help guide them. Julius with keeping his mind into the game and not so much into the fans. I think he can, help Julius understand, you playing the game to win. Don't worry about how the fans feel about you. You worry about your team. So and Melo went through it too. So I think he could have some good tutelage to give to Randle. I thought if Obi's here, he's gonna make Obi better. But the one person I think he'll also make look real good is RJ Barrett. I think he could teach RJ Barrett what he needs to do to develop that mid-range game that Melo used to have back in the days, to show him how to do the moves in the paint a little bit better, how to get like you say, the footwork better. So I think aside from Obi Toppin, I think he will elevate Obi Toppin game because Obi Toppin will emulate some of what Melo used to do and can still show him what to do. And I think RJ Barrett would be the big benefactor of having someone like a Melo on the team, someone that's a forward that can show him how to utilize his footwork and teach him how to shoot that short range, mid range game.
Yeah, real talk. Great analogy, Kyle Powell. Definitely a man, quiet money. Good to see you, my brother. Salute.
Yes,
salute.
Sir.
I mean, we know you in here. We know you're doing well, my brother. Good to see you, man. Real talk. Spiritually, anyway, mentally. But yeah, man. The Melo thing. I think it plays a sentimental, but I also think he can help us. If it would have come to a reality, I think Melo can help the Knicks. I don't think the too many. Put it like this here. Other than who won that Knicks team better than Carmelo Anthony? Even at this stage of his career right now, even with Carmelo Anthony at 38, whatever years old, ain't too many Knicks on that team better than him. You know what I mean? So I mean, you can't do nothing but help. But I do think that if they don't move Obi Toppin, like you said, Obi Toppin and Randle, it ain't happening. It's not gonna happen. But like I said, because it's out there in the atmosphere, we talk about it, man. Real talk. You know what I mean? And I'm good with that, man. Yo, salute to the chat, man. Y'all got it popping. Real talk, man. Y'all keep it going. Y'all make sure you hit them like buttons, and subscribe buttons. Knicks Real Talk. Let's get it. Divine Shot Powers coming off the honeymoon, doing it all good. Salute to my sister Cheyenne. Appreciate y'all inviting me to the wedding. It was all love. I had a great time. My brother Shot Powers like us. He's locked in like a 30-year mortgage. Nah, it's all good. Yes, sir. Yeah, man. But it's interesting, man. But like I said, the Julius, you know what? Real quick, guys, y'all probably kill me for this. I thought about this morning. I'm like, would you trade Julius Randle right now, hypothetically, for Kristaps Porzingis' fine contract?
That would be something to think about. I think no, but
no. Okay, I just know. I was like, well, damn, that boy 7'4". Him and Mitchell Robinson, they work well together. He is strength big. My goodness, we got size too. I'm like, and his contract about to leave, and that's only 1 year. I was like, I got to think about that, man. Porzingis with that expiring for Julius Randle's 4 years with that player option, and you throw Porzingis with Mitchell Robinson at the 4 or 5. So y'all can get it, beat me up for that, but I'd have thought that to get the money out the books, I don't know, man. There you go. I got somebody agree with me. But I thought that'd be a good deal. You know what I mean? 30, you get rid of 117 million, only take it back 36 for 1 year, which probably equate to 70 something after Porzingis years up. But I'm like, oh my God, you got 2 7-footers. He fit well with Mitchell Robinson, literally. Because Porzingis is another guy don't need the ball in hand because he's a catch and shoot dude. You know what I mean? So Donovan Mitchell, RJ, and Jalen Brunson can go bananas, and then you could kick that shit out the Porzingis, part of my language. And he just popped the 3. Well, I said no. I gave me the Julius Randle on that one. Okay, I just threw it out there. It was interesting. I just thought about it this morning. It was crazy, but man, my man Ron, salute my brother. What's going on with you? I hope you're doing well. Yeah, I remember I got my man, still Nick fan, Ron and John in the building, putting in work down there on NBK. Salute to NBK, Sim, the whole network down there. Salute to my brothers and sisters down there, Queens Court, everybody, man, blowing tear there, the whole conglomerate, everybody, salute. But yeah, man, it's all good, man. Well, that's that. I just want to throw that out there. I want to see what I'll go get reaction I'm gonna get with that. Cause I think Porzingis, if you give me 60 games, and man, what? And then after that, you got that spot open for Giannis. You got it open for Giannis when he become a free agent. Say that money. Say that you get rid. Hey, listen, Shop out. Porzingis 36 come off the books. Derrick Rose 14 come off the books, and Fournier 30-something come off the books. He right back almost close to 60 million.
Yeah. Boom. I say no just because of it's Porzingis. But with what you just said, the money coming off the books, him playing down low with Mitchell Robinson and stuff like that, there'd definitely be a defensive threat down there if he can stay healthy. It'd be like it'd be block time all down there. And you said that his contract is expiring.
It's 2 years. I might have misinterpreted. I got to read. I think it might be 2 years.
Is it 1-1 or something like that?
I don't know. I'm thinking it might be 2 years left of that deal. I don't want to misinterpret. But still, though, 2 years, if that's still better than the Julius Randle focus. Like I said, Julius Randle got that player option. What about me if it's the last year don't work out? Then he ain't trying to take care of that player option, 15% trade kicker. But I think I would do it, though. I'm sorry. Because like I said, you get rid of that contract, and then you freeing up that money, Derrick Rose money, and Fournier's money. You right back in the game with Donovan Mitchell and RJ distinction. So you had to think about that. You know what I mean? It'd be crazy, but that's what it is, man. I just want to throw that out there, you guys. I like to shake it up a little bit, man. Salute to the chat. Y'all got to pop it in there. Y'all on fire. Make sure y'all hit the buttons, man. He is, man. I get Porzingis, ain't but I'm looking at it from a long-term perspective. I'm looking at it from what happens when in the next couple of years when Giannis needs Cat to become free agent, and now you got RJ, these guys. They like, you know what? I can mess with that. You know what I mean? You got Donovan Mitchell or RJ here, and they doing anything with Jalen Brunson. Somebody might say I can mess with that. I think I can go to New York and help get them over the hump. You just never know. But you got to have the money to do it, though. You know what I mean? So who knows? Keith says I want no parts of Porzingis. But I did from a business perspective. He having a good summer right now. He balling out over there in over in the Euro League, whatever they playing at over there. So real talk, man. But like I said, the Melo thing, I'm with it. I don't have a problem with it one way or the other. I think Melo ain't signed with nobody for a reason, guys. He could have the free agency. Like I said, when him and James Dolan came with that restaurant, I had a feeling they was probably talking about, do you want to retire a Knick? Blah blah blah. I'm gonna leave that at that. Yeah, I agree. I think Randle gets down. And Quiet Money. I believe Randle might have a better year with Jalen Brunson here. My concern with that is all four of them guys is four guys who need the ball. You know what I mean? And I just think that's going to be pretty interesting to see. You know what I mean? But if, I'm good with Randle, RJ. Listen, that starting to fight the Knicks guys legit. I cannot say it enough with Brunson, RJ. If you bring in Donovan Mitchell, Julius Randle, Mitchell Robinson, that's a squad right there, Sean Powell. So I'm definitely not dividing Julius Randle because, like I said, I'm a Julius Randle guy. But at the same time, man, sometimes you got to look at it from a financial perspective, from a business move. Sometimes it ain't only about the Knicks might just say, if I could do this and it's going to benefit me down the line, they might have to take that shot. But I'm hoping he here. He looked like the man who slimmed down. He got a 12 pack, not a 6. That man got red. You can see his.
Yeah, he got ripped.
Yeah, so I think he no matter which way it goes, Knicks gonna be good. And I think Julius Randle will have a bounce back year for sure. You know what I mean? He for sure. Yep. I agree with you 100%, man. That's the reason why I'm glad the Knicks traded him. Knicks, why he never been healthy. But him and Bradley Beal not Bradley Beal, but he had a pretty good end of the season last year. You know what I mean? And it might carry over, but if not, let him stay where he at. But I just brought it up because it was a thought I had this morning. Like, wow, 2 7-footers. One of them stretched the 4 out to the 3-point line. That leaves the lanes open with Mitchell Robinson. See, one thing about Mitchell Robinson and Julius Randle and them, I don't have a problem with that because Julius Randle kind of plays on the perimeter nowadays. Am I right, Shop Powers? He's not a back to the back type player anymore. So I have a problem with Julius Randle because Julius Randle kind of stretches the floor anyway. So I think now Mitchell Robinson got that whole center spot to himself down there. So it's pretty interesting, man. But that's a good thing. We got a lot of scenarios. I hope Donovan Mitchell take place. I want to see that happen. But I like all the young talent we got, man. And if the Donovan Mitchell thing don't happen, I still think the Knicks get in the playoffs. I just think that Donovan Mitchell give him a boost because you can't knock his numbers. And the cat been putting them in since he got here. 20, 23 in his career. 28, 30 in the playoffs a year, and so I think Donovan Mitchell definitely boosted, for sure.
Yeah, I one way or the other, I believe this team is going to be a little better than it was last year. I think we win easily another 6 more games than we won last year. You know what I mean? With just the acquisition of bringing in Brunson. We bring in Donovan Mitchell, I think we could win 6 to 8, 10 more games, man. I give us a bigger window then, man. I believe we were somewhere around 42 to 47 wins, somewhere in that 5-game window or something like that. And I think I just want to see what's going to happen with is it going to be IQ? I mean, is it going to be Obi Toppin or is it going to be Julius Randle? Who are we going to have in that position right there? And to say that out loud, once we do that, we're going to have to bring in someone to help fill that position out. And, depending on who it is, I believe it's going to be MELO, no matter if it's Randle or if it's Obi. So just bear down and bite on a piece of leather or something like that. You know what I mean? I think RJ is going to have a good year this year. I think, I'm just being optimistic, about RJ because of how his maturation of his game. He's always improved. I think this year he's going to be more set on trying to get the defense down a little bit better and bring up his shooting percentage a little bit from the field and also from the free throw line. So, I mean, it's just some things that I'm just waiting to see this thing happen. If it doesn't happen, I think we still have to make some twerks to our rotation. I still think somehow, some way we're going to have to make a move for Fournier. You know what I mean? I still think we some things to do, but to go back to having the starting 5 as being Brunson, Brunson, Spider, RJ, Randle, and Mitchell Robinson, I'll say this again, the second unit is going to be where it's at too, man. If we bring in D Rose, if we keep Quentin Grimes, if we keep Cam Reddish, we got possibly bringing in Carmelo Anthony and Hardenstein on that second unit. That is a formidable second unit to come in for these guys. If you want to, I think the big thing is how Tibbs is going to coach this year too. Is he's going to flow the rotation with a instead of a 8-9 man rotation to a 10-man rotation. If he does a 10-man rotation, everybody can have a nice amount of minutes and don't overdo themselves. I don't think none of the starters should play more than 30 minutes. If we bring in these, if we have these 5 guys on the bench, I don't think none of these guys should play over 30 minutes. It could be an easy breakdown as 30 minutes, 18 minutes for the second unit, and I think we could really prosper from that 10-man rotation.
Hey, real quick. Hey, Card Money, I'll let him answer that question that you put out there about his contract quick. Hey, allow Wise and be civilized. That's the reason why you bring in Carmelo Anthony, because Cayenne gonna be the real deal. Listen, it's about connections. Carmelo Anthony retired Nick. A couple, 3-4 years from now, his son playing in New York because of the connections, a family atmosphere. Yo, Cayenne gonna be ridiculous, bro. I know Bronny and all them cats, some young boys gonna be good, but I think Cayenne Anthony gonna be great. To me, he got Kevin Durant in him. I mean, that young man gonna be amazing, bro. So I'm hoping that James Dolan and the Knicks look, New York kid, father played for the Knicks. Cayenne Anthony is gonna be special, and I hope he be a Knick, man. Real talk. So, and by then maybe we can get, after we do these 4 years right here, of trying to make a run for the playoffs. Then we go back into tank mode. That's what y'all call it. And man, I hope they get that boy to New York, man. Cayenne Anthony gonna be the real deal. I'm telling you. So that's why I like this thing, man. Keep these, come on, let Melo spend another year or two here. Help the Knicks try to get deep in the playoffs. We don't win a chip, so be it. But man, he's gonna be special, man. I hate to say it, but me 70.20 coming to the Garden. I love to see Cayenne Anthony. This kid born and raised in New York, high school New York, kindergarten, preschool New York, everything.
And yeah, you bring Melo back here. That's a perfect opportunity to segue to see into a couple of years and see if we could try to snatch him up and bring him over here too. That would be nice.
Yeah. Cayenne Anthony's dream is to play right here in the Mecca. You know that. You know what I mean? So, but it's gonna be interesting, man. And hey, with the way this organization going right now, we're in a good place to do a lot of things. Like I said, we build a team right now. We're gonna be able to compete for the next 4 years. So that's why you signed all these guys for 4 years. That's why you gave Brunson 4 years. That's why you're gonna give RJ his 4 or 5 years. That's why you gave Randle 4 years. That's why you gave Mitchell Robinson 4 years. These guys are gonna be able to compete together for a while. Then obviously you're gonna bring in that piece that's gonna help try to get into contention. But if you think about it, they done locked all these guys up for 4 years. So from 2023 to at least 2022 to 2026, the Knicks ain't gonna be doing no trying to get cats in the draft. You have to kill all that noise. That's over for the next 4 years. I mean, they trying to get to the big dance. So they're trying to build a championship squad. And even if you bring it down to the middle, that's not gonna make it a championship squad, but it gets us closer. It gets you closer to where they're trying to go to. And then you might be that one player away, man. You just never know. So I definitely think it's gonna be interesting in New York moving forward with the team and the way, Leon Rose and Scott Perry and them trying to build this thing. I think it's gonna be real interesting, man. But I like even though I think they're gonna be decent. But what do you think, Shot Powers, man? Quiet Money asked me about the RJ Barrett contract situation. I think the Knicks gonna try to get RJ Barrett around $30 million. I think they're gonna try to lock him up. I would say 30.
I'm somewhere in that price range too. I think they'll. I was saying this earlier about how RJ was signed with us and stuff like that, and I think he can go for 25 to 30 million somewhere in there. I'm hoping more on the 25 side, because if we bring in Donovan Mitchell, we are going to be in the luxury tax, maybe the low end of the luxury tax, but we won't be able to pick up anybody in the our draft is, we have to do trade. We have to trade to get a player that we want. We can't mess around in free agents. You know, we won't have the money to play around in free agents as much if we bring in Donovan Mitchell. Anything that we would bring in would more likely, if I'm not mistaken, I don't think we could do too much free agents because we won't have the money. And so it would be more on the lines of trades, you know what I mean, to bring a player in here. So I think I believe he's good as $25 million, and top of the line, I think he could get $30 million as well. You know, so somewhere in between that 25 to 30 million mark, I would offer RJ and see if he would take it.
Yeah, I think they're gonna have to give him close to 30. And here, let me put this out here, guys. And I did this not too long ago. I think maybe like a couple of months ago on one of our streams, right? As projected, if you went this way, Julius Randle right now in 2022, 2023, he making 23 million. But I know that goes up to close to 29 million in the next couple of years. I projected RJ Barrett at 30 million. I did this about like 4 months ago.
Yep.
Couple. Mitchell Robinson was at 17.45. Jalen Brunson was at 27 point. And Donovan Mitchell, he making around 30 right now. That was $129 million in your starting lineup. Just your starting lineup with these guys right here. And so that's gonna leave you around 21 million. That's the reason why I said now you gotta add in Hartenstein's 8 million that year. That's gonna get you to 37. Then you gotta put in, you got Derrick Rose contract. So we're gonna be over the luxury tax.
Right.
And you got 4. That's why you're gonna have. See, that's why I try to say you can't move Grimes 2 million. You can't move Quickly's 2 million. You can't move Obi's 5 million. You know, and McBride 1 million. Yeah, McBride. Okay, you don't want to move them because you're gonna need them rookie contracts to balance all this stuff out. You know what I mean? That's why I think the Knicks is good. That's why I said people don't sleep on these. Maybe if that 23 million becomes available, maybe Fournier. Well, you know, Fournier gonna have to go in the Donovan Mitchell deal. So you're going to have to wheel and deal, and that's why I don't think the Knicks want to get rid of these young guys because they need them to balance out that roster, man, because them 5 guys right there is almost at $129 million, and the luxury tax is $150 million. So you're only going to have, once you add Hartenstein in there, you're going to need Obi Toppin, you're going to need Amanda Quickly $2 million, you're going to need Quentin Grimes $2 million on a rookie deal. That's why the Knicks ain't popped that move yet. They're like, I can't give you all of that. We need these guys to fill out our roster, and they talented. So you know, I think RJ, you know, gonna get. You know, if anybody want to say between 25 to 20, I think he's gonna wind up getting 30 because he might want 36. You know, it's not what we think; it's what he want. What he's gonna do. It don't matter what we make. I think RJ said, listen, the fair market value. You look at my numbers. And they going up every year. I'm 22. I'm young. My numbers is equivalent to Julius Randle career-wise. Julius Randle get 20 after this $23 million contract this year. The next one goes up to 26. It goes up like to 29. And that one, Julius Randle got that player option. He ain't got a team option with a trade kicker in it. So, you know, that's why the Knicks might say, hey, I'm not trying to, you know, I don't know. It's gonna be interesting, man. So I just bring that up there, guys, to see that. Quiet Money, that's a good question, Quiet Money. I appreciate it, man. I think the Knicks gonna be fine, though. I think that's why they're trying to do this thing the right way. They not letting Danny Ainge fleece them for them young dudes because their contracts are too small. Man, Quickly, $2 million, what he give you? I mean, Grind for $2 million, what they give you? It's hard to let that go. You know what I mean? That much talent for $2 million. But we'll see how it roll, man. I think the Knicks gonna give up. With my man got who Ja Morant and Darius Garland got what 100 and what about 70, 80, close to 2. What is it? 170 something.
Didn't one of them get 200?
Yeah, one of them got that money like that. Yeah. I do think that if you're gonna get them cats that much money, RJ been proving himself. You can't if you take away RJ percentage last year, and the year before that he shot 39% from the 3-point line. RJ had a good second year. His third year, the whole Knicks squad was terrible last year, basically from the floor. I mean, you know, so even Julius Randle only shot 30% from the 3 last year. You know what I mean? 20 points a game. RJ did the same thing with a better 3-point shooting. It can be the Knicks might say he's younger, and they might think RJ could play better with Donovan Mitchell than Julius Randle because RJ and Donovan Mitchell, when they get the ball in their hand, they go downhill. They could do a lot of things with the ball. They could create shots and all that. And so I don't know. It's interesting to see how it goes, man. Salute to the chat again. Y'all got it popping. But great question, Quiet Money. I appreciate that, man. Because I think that is going to be something that we all got to look out for because in October he due for that extension. Let's see how it's going to go. Let's what they're going to do with RJ Barrett, man. I just know he need to be a Knick. You know what I mean? That cat got the moxie to play in New York. He got the heart to play in New York. He ain't scared of the big lights. And he going ever since he's been in the league, he's been putting them up. 14, 17, and 20. If think about it, like we said last year, Shot Powell, if we would have proved the three, I mean, not just shot better from the 3-point, I mean, the 2-point line last year. I mean, the charity stripe, excuse me. I mean, RJ Barrett shot good for the charity stripe last year. He only shot 69%. If he would have shot 75, 76% last year, RJ would have been averaging 23, 24 game last year. And he easy. Because you know what? But you know what? And they think about it, Cat gonna come back working on his game. I think that we got to take all of variables into consideration. Think about if he would have shot good from the field goal percentage last year. They all shot bad there. They all shot bad for the 3-point line, other than Fournier and Grimes. They all shot terrible from the 3-point line. So not even Julius Randle. All of them shot terrible last year. I don't know what happened to that Knicks squad last year, but they just didn't shoot the ball well at all. But if he do improve that 3-point, I mean that 2-point shooting and that field goal percentage from the 2-point area and that charity stripe, RJ gonna be 25 a game easy. Because he do one thing a lot of Knicks don't do. Good as Julius Randle can shoot, but Julius Randle don't go downhill like RJ do. RJ got Julius Randle can get down there if he would have put more drive into doing it, like put the ball in front, go downhill and get a bucket. RJ do that on a religious thing, man. He go downhill a lot. And that's a good way to be, because either you're going to get fouled, make the bucket, or kick the ball out to somebody. He's not a stagnant ball player. He ain't dropped 46 on Jimmy Butler enough for no reason. I mean, 11 30-point games, over 30 in a row. I mean, the cat shot 50-something% on all them games. So I think RJ Barrett, don't sleep on that young man, man. That cat, he might not be sexy, but his numbers don't lie, though. His numbers don't lie, guys, from the 2-guard spot. And he played out of position last year. There you go. Zion, Garland, all has out of 33 starting 33. There you go. Thank you, Frank Mato. Appreciate it. So if it's, I think he gets close to that. You know what I mean? And I think he gets playing in this market too. You know what I mean? So how to give RJ Barrett credit, man, playing in this market and handling all this pressure. He did it pretty good, Shop Powers. But yeah, man, it's all good. I mean, the season coming up. What do y'all like about this Knicks team, man? Y'all think we playoff bound? Y'all think we got it not to play in the way we presently constructed right now? Do you think Knicks make the playoffs or the play in?
The way I see it is, everyone, a lot of people talk about how we're gonna, and I say this a lot about the guys, if we bring in Donovan Mitchell, about how they're short in stature and their defense may not be as good as as it should be and stuff like that. But these guys have dog in them. These guys can play defense. It's not like they scrubs. These guys can play defense. These guys can really get at, defend. I mean, and get at it and really defend. The biggest thing that you have to pay attention to is, you may make some drives, and it's not going to be many drives because you got Mitchell Robinson and three centers that can really step up to play defense if you get past them. But the big thing that you have to pay attention to is how this team is going to increase their offensive. This team is going to be offensive threats now. If we get Donovan Mitchell, he's an offensive threat. You have to play defense on Brunson. There's no going to be too many double teams. So as last year, how teams played and the year before played to Randle as being as soon as Randle get the ball, double team him, get the ball out of his hand. This year, if Randle was here, they may not be able to double team as often because the guys that are going to be open off the double teams will be Brunson and Mitchell Robinson, and these guys can shoot. So this may be a different style of team next year because I believe Randle. I believe this, man. If Randle's here next year, his assist ratio goes up from being 5. I think he goes higher to almost a triple threat this year. He may go to 7 to 8 a game. You know, with him getting the ball, teams try to double team him like they did last year and the year before. They're not gonna really be able to do that as much. And when they do, you got these guys that's out on the perimeter that can hit the ball. So you know what I mean. Our I believe we still could be a defensive team the way Tom Thibodeau runs his defensive team. But the biggest thing I believe next year is we're not going to be at the bottom at offensive. We're going to be a more up-tempo team. I think I think it was 103. I can't remember the exact number that we scored last year, our average for the year for the team. But I think it was like 103 points. With Mitchell on the team and Brunson on the team, I believe we're closer to 109, 112 points a game. So, you know, I think what we tried to do this year by implementing Fournier and oh my God, I got his name in his mouth. I can't get him out. What's the little guy that we just traded? Anyway.
Are you talking about the point guard?
Yeah, the point guard.
Kemba Walker.
Kemba, thank you. Oh my man, I had a brain fart right there. What we tried to implement last year with bringing in Kemba and Fournier is bringing up our offensive threat. They didn't really fan out too good last year, but this year bringing in Donovan Mitchell, if we could get him and Brunson, is really going to uplift our offensive. I think we won't be in the bottom of being offensive this year. I think we could be closer to the top 10. I think also on offense, in defense with the Tom Thibodeau system, where he runs his systems and having these three juggernaut centers in the backcourt, I think we can also bring up. I think we were 10th or 11th last year, and I think we could be right around there or even better next year with the team that the team that we're going to bring in for this year.
You think we playoffs or play in?
I think I want to say. I take any of them. I take the play-in or the playoffs, but I think we could be somewhere. The way I look at the other teams stacking up this year, I think we could be somewhere around 6 to 8. I think we could be somewhere in that. I think 8 to 6, somewhere around there. I think we could be in that range. If we can make a play-in, I think we could advance to the first round.
Yeah, I you know what? For me, guys, and if I look at it from the whole. I think the Knicks going to be better for various reasons. Number one, we got a better point guard. We won 37 games last year with Alex Burks and Kemba.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to be more thorough at the one guard spot for sure. You coming in this year with a healthy Mitchell Robinson, not a Mitchell Robinson coming off a foot injury for 9 months, not nobody who out of shape. You coming in out of training camp if nobody get injured, with everybody pretty much healthy. A much improved probably RJ and Randle. Much improved. I guarantee you that. Now, what they gonna do with that two spot, whether it be Grimes or Fournier? Grimes that will be more healthy. And remember, Grimes at the end of the year he got hurt. Him and Cam Reddish. We lost them guys. We lost Noel. We lost. Derrick Rose.
Mm-hmm.
We lost Kemba Walker, basically. That was a lot of firepower. Now you come back in this year with that same team, but more healthier guy, the more better point guard. Don't sleep on the New York Knicks, man. I'm kidding you not. And you know RJ in the bag gear. Am I right or wrong? You know how the Cats in the bag gear. You got RJ in the bag gear. You know what I mean? You know he gonna show out. You know what I mean? You know these cats, Cam Reddish, if he in the bag here, he's going to want to show out because he's going to want his money. Grimes coming off of Summer League the way he was looking. IQ got much better during the summer. I mean, I just think that Hartenstein going to be he's a sleeping addition to me to the Knicks. I think his defense, his stretch ball at the 3, backing up Mitchell Robinson, and he can pass at the top of the table pretty good. I think they got a good shot. Without Donovan Mitchell, I still think this team got to be at least a 6 seed. I know we got because everybody know. I know we got guys got better. A lot of teams in the East got better, but we got better too. Just like other teams got better, we got better too. Ain't like we didn't do nothing. I mean, Charlotte, the one that do nothing. Think about it. Charlotte didn't do anything this summer, and they're not sure what's not happening with Miles Bridges. You know what I mean? So some people made improvements to the team, some didn't. But I think that team is pretty solid. That team right there, man. I think they can defend with the best of them. I think having Mitchell Robinson at the anchor and Brunson pushing that ball for the Knicks is gonna be pretty interesting to see. So we see how it go, man. But I think if it's the way it's probably constructed not without Donovan Mitchell, Julius Randle 20 a game, RJ 20 a game, Brunson 17 a game, Mitchell Robinson 12 a game. I'm gonna put 12, 13 a game, and it all depends who's gonna be the two guard, whether Fournier or if it's Grimes. You got to get Grimes at 12 a game in the starting lineup. So I think that's a pretty formidable team right there. I think, and I like Grimes in that starting lineup if you don't get down to Mitchell, because this defense is ridiculous. So, and he's a knockdown three-point shooter. So if you got Brunson and Grimes in the backcourt with RJ, Randle, and Mitchell Robinson, I think they could put some work in. I think that's way better than last year's team. I know that much. So it's definitely gonna be interesting to see how this thing will play out, man. I think they got a good problem on their hand, man. I think they're gonna be all right this year. It's gonna be a tough battle. I think they can get down. But if you put a lot of starting lineups up against the Knicks starting lineup, man for man, Randle ain't no slouch. That's why we don't want to get rid of him, other than because he's not a slouch. RJ is not a slouch. You know what I mean? Brunson is not a slouch. So it ain't like they got scrubs down there. You know what I mean? I think they got a better team than they had last year. I think number one, shot power, they're coming back more healthier, more young. Now you get Derrick Rose back. You know what I mean? And you got Hartenstein replacing Noel. You missed Noel firepower last year. You missed Derrick Rose firepower last year. Now these guys coming back with a better team than they had last year. I think the Knicks going to be pretty decent. I really do.
One of my big things for this team coming back is this team has been together for about 3 years together.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? RJ has been here. Randle has been here. Mitch has been here. We've had D Rose has been here for a couple of years. All the young guys are coming back. Have been here 1 and 2 years now, like Obi Toppin and Obi Toppin and IQ. Grimes is going to be his second year here. So this team has been together for a little bit of time. They know their tendencies a little bit and stuff like that. The acclimation, to bring in these guys, Brunson and D Rose and Donovan Mitchell should be somewhat, it should be an easy fit. You know what I mean? Because Brunson's not coming here trying to come over and take the team over. I think he's coming over here to change the way he played in Dallas. I think he's coming here to facilitate a little bit more, to shoot the ball when he's wide open, to drive when the Knicks need a basket and stuff like that. You know what I mean? And I think he's going to help Julius Randle game a lot. With Mitchell here, I think Mitchell is also going to be some of the same things, man. I think, like I said, I think Mitchell and RJ, Brunson, and Randle, I think those two guys are going to be like, when you talk about the assists and how it goes down, I think those guys are going to be getting the assists off of those players that, I think Brunson's going to get his assists off of Randle, and I think Randle's going to get his assists off of Brunson. And one of the summer league games that, and there was a couple of plays that it was only one game that Brunson played with Randle, but in that game, there was 2 plays that I noticed that Brunson and Randle played a lot. That high post game, post, get the ball, drop the ball to Brunson. Brunson laid the ball up, and vice versa. Brunson got the ball, came around. Randle set the pick. He comes around. Randle cut to the hole. Brunson hit him as he went to the hole and he dunked the ball. So I think those two guys together can really make a impact on the team this year, and vice versa. If we could get, the left side and the right side, that's what we need. We could work a right side and the left side any time of the game with Mitchell coming over, trying to grab a rebound over the back. If one of those miss, I think we're in good shape.
Yeah, I agree with you. Yeah, absolutely. It's gonna be interesting, man. Now, if you bring Donovan Mitchell in the fold, and that goes up to 50. So I just think him and Brunson backcourt, that'd be pretty special. Compared to what we had the last couple of years. But I'm excited about everything, man. Like you said, it don't mean nothing until you get on the court and make it happen. I'm confident that they're gonna have a better year than last year. We didn't have a bad year last year. Just so we hit the injury bug, man. I think the injury bug set us back a little bit. But a new dawn, a new day, man. Let's see what happens, man. You know, once all the smoke cleared, the dust, you know, smoke settles, everything, we'll see. If Donovan Mitchell here now, I think Knicks will be all right. I think they're gonna be pretty good. You know, especially you know, with Mitchell Robinson on the offense rebound edge. And that's another thing that's interesting. The guy that we got starting in that lineup, they're not like prolific 3-point shooters, but that's a good thing by having Mitchell Robinson there because he's a great offense rebounder. You know what I mean? So I think that's pretty special right there to have him backing up, you know, in a center spot, knowing that if those shots ain't falling tonight, at least that brother grabbing rebounds, and he's good at what he do. And that's why I love Mitchell Robinson from that perspective. So I think it's gonna be really interesting, man. But we got to see how it goes, man. See how the Knicks get down. I'm locked in. I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm ready to get to see the started. You know what I mean? And see what we're gonna do. But I think we're gonna be good though. I'm gonna go 6. I'm gonna keep 100 with you. I'm gonna go 6 to 7. I'm gonna go 6 to 7 range. And it all depends. If we get down to Mitchell, then I'll take that up a notch. But if we don't get down to Mitchell, I still think that we could be. I'm gonna go 5 to 7 because you never know what happened with other teams. So, I think that'd be real special. I think this team gonna shock a lot of people. They coming healthy, man. That's what it is. Yeah, you're right. Right around the corner.
It's soon to come.
Yeah,
about 2 weeks or so. Sometime in September. It's almost here. Yeah, we need to make this trade and do what we're gonna do to, you know, loosen up some of this point guard position. I mean, some of these guards that we got here, and if we're gonna bring Donovan in here, let's get it done so he can get into an early training camp with these guys, so they could they could get together and play some ball together. You know, I just hope that you know, like I said, man, I think the team as is right now is going to be a better team than it was last year. They've been together a little bit of time. Mitchell Robinson is going to come in 100% healthy. You see him shooting a couple of hook shots and some of these TikToks and all these other things and stuff like that. He's out there shooting his free throws. If all these guys could just increase their field goal percentage a little bit, 42, 43%, stuff like that, you know, maybe be more, you know, hit more free throws. We have a better team, man. If RJ can get to 78% in free throws, we are good money. You know what I mean? We're good money because if he's at the last, I believe it was the last 20 games or so, he was averaging about 24 points a game. Yes, his efficiency was down, but he was learning how to take over the game, I believe. I think he was taking those shots to try to figure out if, you know, trying to be the man, if you want to say, and stuff like that. So if he can increase his free throws to close to 80%, I you know, just like Mitchell Robinson will be a double machine if he could bring his 40-something, 50% free throw shooting to somewhere in the 60 range, 64, 65, 68%. You know, if Mitchell Robinson comes in and shoots about 70 points, 70% from the free throw line, Mitchell Robinson scoring about 15 points a night, easy, man. He gets fouled a lot, especially on making the basket. Mitchell Robinson is not too much fouled before the basket, but fouled as he makes the basket. So if he makes the basket and can, you know, turn over some of those free throw shots into made baskets, and Mitchell Robinson is going to be about 15 points this year, 13 or 15 points this year. And I mean, and this team is a different team with a same look, if that makes sense. If we get Brunson and we get D Mitchell, that's a new look for us. That's a new wax jar with some Oopa Noopa or whatever they call it. But the car is still the same car. You know what I mean? The same color, that blue, that orange and blue. You know what I mean? It's just they got a little bit Oopa Noopa and some extra wax and the glaze over it now. So maybe it should look a little better this year.
Yeah, real talk. A lot wise, man. Mind to tech mind. I left a lot wise chat up there because think about that. We almost shot 60% from the free throw line, a whole team. Think about this last year.
Yeah.
60%. Like a lot of wise said, we were 28th. Man, imagine the team shots. I seen the Knicks lose last year, I kid you not. At least 10 to 12 games because we shot bad at the
free throws. Yeah.
Almost 10 to 12 games last year because we shot bad at the free throw line. We could have easily won 40-something games last year. I was watching the game like we missed like 10 free throws. 9 free throws in the game. Come on, you know what I mean? And a lot of them games we were lost by 1, 2, 3. So the Knicks even improved they all around shooting from last year from the charity stripe and get a little better consistency from all areas. That team last year without them cats they was injured was still close to 40-something wins. I just thought that free throw shooting was abysmal. I appreciate that, guy. Real talk, man. That free throw shooting would hurt us last year, man. It really did. It hurt us bad last year. So hopefully they come back up with a different mindset and they get better at that. You know what I mean? And I think once they do that, they would have been all right last year. You know, and they still won 37 games. You know what I mean? And I seen them lose 10. I literally seen them lose 10 games.
Facts.
On a free throw shoot. I'm like, come on, guys. Y'all can't hit a fucking free throw to save my life. RJ, Fournier, even Fournier good shoot from 3. Him, Randle, them cats wasn't there. Even Grimes. I'm like, dude, good as you shoot, you can't hit a free throw shot. I was killing me last year, South Powell. I was like, man. But you know, that's how the ball was bouncing last year. I don't know what the new ball or whatever, but they didn't shoot well last year, man. The year before that, they was killing it. Randle 41 from 3, RJ 39 from 3. I mean, them cats was knocking down 3-pointers the year before, all of them. But last year, you know, they stunk up the joint from on the offense side of the ball last year. The defense got better at the end of the season. They wound up being in the top 10, I think it was. So hopefully all that changed and they have a better offense output this year. We get it popping, man. But I think it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be a fun year. It's gonna be a real fun year. East got real competitive, man. A lot of teams got better, but we got better too. So I just want to see what Jalen Brunson what he gonna do for that offense, knowing that we got a guy like that who literally know how to pass the ball when that guy open. Like the problem last year for me was like Alex Burks because he didn't see Mitch Robinson a lot last year because he's not a true point guard. But it was so many times where Alex Burks missed Mitch Robinson on a lob or when he got somebody pinned in the post because the other guy did the switch. Alex Burks wasn't that dude, and Kim didn't play enough, and McBride wasn't ready. So I think Jalen Brunson makes that whole thing different this year, man, because he know how to literally play the point guard spot. That's what he do. 2 national championships, Western Conference Finals last year. That's what he do. And I think the Knicks, we've been missing that for years. You know, and I think they finally got a point guard who know how to run a point guard and also get buckets. So I think he makes his team, to me, much better than last year because there's going to be times when you got to get Randle the ball at a certain time or you got to get RJ the ball at a certain time. The other cats couldn't do that. You know what I mean? This cat know how to do that. So I think if Jalen Brunson stay healthy, I think he's going to be a huge acquisition to the Knicks. I think he makes that team much better. Real talk, man. He's the floor general. He's the quarterback. You know what I mean? And we can direct our team the right way. I think they're going to be pretty good.
Yeah, I just want to see what's going to happen. It's getting closer and closer as the weeks, dwindle away a little bit. We get closer and closer to see what's going to happen with this team. And like I said, the first unit and the second unit, if all the transitions go down and we make the trade for Donovan Mitchell and stuff like that, the first unit with Donovan Mitchell, with Brunson, Jalen Brunson, RJ Barrett, Julius Randle, and Mitchell Robinson is a good starting first unit, and that second unit with D Rose, Grimes, Reddish, and MELO with Hardenstein. That is a formidable second unit. So let's make this happen, man. Let's get this popping, man. Because I think if that's the 10-man 1 and 2 units right there, I think we're gonna have some games to win this year. We won't be slacking in having someone to finish the game for us. That we won't have. Last year we lost a couple of games because we had no one to finish. D Rose was out of the game. We had no real finishers, so we won't have that problem this year with Mitchell and with Jalen Brunson. We had a problem shooting the free throws this year. If I'm not mistaken, Donovan Mitchell was about 80% from the free throw line, and I believe Brunson is also about 80% from the free throw line. So we won't be getting killed so much in free throws this year. Our free throw percentage should be better. People don't say it a lot. Donovan Mitchell can pass the ball just like Jalen Brunson can pass the ball. Ask his center Powell last year in Dallas. See how he's going to miss him this year. So these guys changes a lot of things that we have going on, and it brings us from out of the being the bottom feeders and as a team. I mean, as a team, to bringing us in, at least into the middle or to the upper echelons of what we can do. I don't believe we're going to be lower free throws. I think the pace is going to be picked up this year. I think we're going to rebound better. So a lot of these things with these two players, just these two players alone, is going to elevate the New York Knicks team this year. And I just hope that at one time, I'm happy if we keep the team that we have, less of one or two players and stuff like that. I'm happy. But if we get Donovan Mitchell, we're going to make like instead of making a step forward, we're going to probably make a step I ain't gonna say 2 steps. Let's say a step and a half more forward than we did last year.
Hey, let me hit y'all with this real quick. What do y'all think about this here? If you get Donovan Mitchell, and we talk about the lineup, we talk about Brunson, Mitchell, RJ, Randle, and Mitchell Robinson. Now you go to the Boston Celtics starting 5, point guard Marcus Smart, right? I think Jalen Brunson and Marcus Smart kind of washes each other out. Let's just say that I wouldn't pick one over the other hypothetically. Then let's just say Donovan Mitchell and Jason Tatum kind of they washes each other out pretty much. I mean, Donovan Mitchell is that good. So him and Jason Tatum pretty much are going to be the primo guys. Let's say Julius Randle, hypothetically, we just use Julius Randle. He give you what Jaylen Brown give you. I don't think Al Horford can give you what RJ Barrett can give you. And I think Mitchell Robinson and Robert Williams cashes each other out. That's why I say I don't think they should sleep on that team, because I think them 5 guys we got just as good as the Boston starting 5.
Facts.
Marcus Smart and Jalen Brunson, they both went deep to the playoffs last year. Jalen Brunson went to the Western Conference Final. Marcus Smart went to the final. I think Jalen Brunson is a way better offense ball player than him, and I think he's a better facilitator. That's the only Marcus Smart's Achilles heel. He's not a good facilitator. So I would take you could say either Jalen Brunson by slight edge. You're gonna give Marcus Smart that better thing on defense. But then that second score, Donovan Mitchell, he washes out my man Jason Tatum. I'm telling you, I think he can do just what he do. And Randle could do what Jaylen Brown do, no question about it. And I think RJ gonna be the benefactor in that whole thing. I think that Knicks team, if you take that team against, let's go against another team, the Bulls. Lonzo Ball, Jalen Brunson. I'm still taking Jalen Brunson. I know everybody like Lonzo Ball. Jalen Brunson can give him the business. I mean, Lonzo's a good 3-point shooter, but he can't score like Jalen Brunson can. So you can even say that's a wash. Now you say Donovan Mitchell and DeMar DeRozan. Okay, that's close. You could pretty much say that's a wash too. Then you got either Julius Randle and Zach LaVine. You know what I mean? Then you got RJ, whoever their fourth man is ain't better than RJ, whether it's Robert Williams, Patrick Williams, his numbers ain't like RJ numbers is. And then you got Mitchell Robinson and Vucevic. So I think the Knicks team is, and we got a dangerous bench. I think they should sleep on the Knicks, man. Real talk, bro. I think that team is what people think it is. I think when you match them up man for man with every team in the East, the Knicks got to start 5 if you get Donovan Mitchell to compete with all them cats. Even if you go to Atlanta with Devontae Murray and Trae Young and DeAndre Hunter and John Collins, we formula what they are.
Yeah, looking at the starting rotation with Jalen Brunson and Donovan, the same rotation of Mitchell, Randle, and RJ, we're looking almost about 100 points in the starting unit. Hypothetically, you know what I mean? If you look from paper, 20 points here, 20 points here, 20 points here, 25 points here, 12 to 15 points there. That's almost 100 points. You know what I mean? Sitting in your starting unit. That's a good starting unit to get out there. And if they can play some defense, that's going to take us over. That's really going to take us salute. That's really going to take us over the top, man. And I believe we have closers on this team. You know what I mean? That's one of the big things that I have to bring up. Last year we didn't have no closers. When we was down 2 minutes in the game, when we're down 4 or 5 points, we had no one to really get the ball in their hand and get us a basket. we get Donovan Mitchell, we got that guy there. With Jalen Brunson, I believe he's that type of a player too. He's a hard-nosed Villanova player coming down. He's going to want. He wants to win. You know what I mean? So I believe we're a better team with those two guys. You know what I mean? Defensively, like I said, they're short in stature, but they big and hard, man. Them some dogs right there, man. And even if you want to try to isolate them, to put the bigger guards on Jalen Brunson and see if somebody could try to back him down and do all that stuff, we still got you. Just remember, we still got Mitchell Robinson in the background. And Mitchell Robinson, the blockness muscle is always lurking. I mean, and I believe this year he's going to help out a lot. You know, if he stays healthy, he's coming in healthy. If he stay healthy, I think you know, he may have about 2-3 blocks this year. Yeah. And I mean, you know, for the season. So, you know, I'm not scared of anybody trying to back these guys down. You gonna back down Donovan Mitchell? Nah, his arm's too long, man. He's gonna reach around and snap that ball out from you. Brunson's too big and wide in his body that you're just gonna try to push him around and you know, just go straight to the hole with him. And like I said, man, we got Mitchell Robinson back there to try to clean up stuff. If it's not Mitchell Robinson, we got. I was joking about this with one of my friends, man. With Mitchell Robinson, Sims, and Hartenstein, we got 18 fouls to give away. And I mean, we could all these guys got 6 fouls to give, so they could play aggressive defense. And to supplement Mitchell Robinson for Sims is just like putting Mitchell Robinson back in there. To substitute Sims for Hartenstein is just like putting Hartenstein and Sims and Mitchell Robinson back in the game. These guys, you know, are defensive guys on the backcourt, and that's what the Knicks are looking for. So I think we're going to have a great season this year if we can pull off this deal with Donovan Mitchell.
Yeah, real quick, and even a lot wise, you 100% Brogdon in it, but think about it. Gallinari got hurt today. They not sure if it's structural damage. You know, the Gallinari went down today. A meniscus tear or something in his knee. They and playing over there in the league. So, I mean, there need things happen, you know what I mean? And so, but Keith, we not taking no respect off of Boston. What I'm trying to say is our guys are just as talented. I mean, you know, numbers don't lie. You know what I mean? That whole team is good, but I think we're not giving our team players credit. You know, why we don't think we got talent when we do? Donovan Mitchell, if he on the Knicks, this cat been in the playoffs every year since he been in the league.
Every year.
He came into his rookie year dropping 20 in the league, and they ain't dropped off since. Donovan Mitchell is a bona fide talent, bro. You know, people got to start hating on that dude. He took Utah where they had to go. It wasn't Rudy Gobert. It wasn't some of them guys. Man, Donovan Mitchell is legit. And if he on the Knicks, that makes the Knicks more legit. And I think as much as we like Randle, he legit. Randle not a scrub. You know what I mean? RJ not a scrub. I mean, sometimes we got to put respect on our players' names. Sometimes, you know, I know there's a lot of other good teams out there, but man, we got good ball players too, and we can't keep saying that because our guys. It's like why we hating on our own guy that we got. We know they talented. The numbers don't lie. Period. Numbers don't lie. I don't care how you can't dispute that or nothing. The numbers speak for themselves. If you look at these guys' numbers that we got, they put up numbers. You know, and they, like I said, last year might have been abnormal, but the year before that we was balling. They was balling last year because of mistakes here and there, injuries. The Knicks is not a bad team, and if you put Donovan Mitchell on this team, they're gonna be even better. So I don't get that. RJ Barrett is a talent. Yeah, you know, like I said, his numbers ain't too different to Julius Randle's numbers, except for the 2-point area. But he's only a 22-year-old man. He only played 3 years in the league. Think about RJ Barrett 3 years from now or 2 years from now. That cat gonna be crazy. You know what I mean? So I do think we got to start giving our players a little bit more credit, man, because these cats ain't no scrubs, bro. I'm sorry. You know what I mean? They got a good coach. He been around. He know how to do it. You might disagree with what he was doing last year, but the man, he ain't win. His numbers don't lie. And I'm the type of dude, I believe in the number. I believe in facts. Ain't no hyperbole. The numbers don't lie. RJ numbers don't lie. Randall's numbers don't lie. Brunson's numbers don't lie. Mitchell's numbers, them numbers don't lie, bro. They've been putting us up against 29 other teams in the NBA. So, you know, I don't care how short he is. He was short in Utah. He could be short in Dallas. He could be short on the Knicks. He still put up the same numbers. So let's see how it goes, man. But I think people sleeping on our squad, though. You know what I mean? I think they're sleeping on that squad. I'm not saying the Knicks going to be the 4th or 5th seed, but they're going to be a tough out every night. I know that. They're going to be a tough out, Shot Powers. You got a good, strong bench there. You know, Hartenstein is a good addition to the Knicks. You know what I mean? He comes from a good culture. You know, playing out there with Ty Lue, Kawhi Leonard, Paul George. He was around it. That's why he had the year he had last year, because he was around a good culture. With Reggie Jackson, these guys, man, he's a big addition to the Knicks. So now when Richard Robinson go out, you got a guy who come in there, can defend the rim, can also stretch the floor a little bit, and he can shoot. He's a good passer from the top of the key. He's there when Noel wasn't there last year. So think about Hartenstein having a full year when we had Noel last year, who didn't even play enough last year. You know, so I think this team is different. You know, I think you got to put all the variables together and realize that, okay, Derrick Rose wasn't there. We took Derrick Rose and we took Alex Burks real quick. I passed it to you, Shop Out, but let me make this point. We took Derrick Rose and Alex Burks out of our second unit last year and put them in the first unit, and one didn't play. So you lost 20-something points out of your second unit because you put Burks in as a point guard to start, and you lost Derrick Rose. Derrick Rose gave you 13 a game that year, and Alex Burks gave you 12 a game. That's 25 points from our second unit last year that we lost out of our second unit because one got injured and the other one had to go play in the starting unit. That's a big difference. Then you had a guy like Nerlens Noel, who was almost pretty much in the defensive player of the year conversation a couple of years ago when Mitchell Robinson went down, 2-point blocks a game. He helped get us to 41 wins. Then you miss him all of last year. That's a lot of potency because now you got to change up your whole lineup. You got young guys who really wasn't ready to do what they did, and the Knicks kind of fell back a little bit because of that, injuries and no good shooting. So now this year you come in with a better squad than last year. I think this team is much better than here. With or without Donovan Mitchell, I think this Knicks going to be a good team because all them little variables that I just talked about, they coming into this year. Hopefully they don't have them problems. You know, I think they're going to be better. I really do.
Yeah, it's definitely. I concur, Devon, man. I'm right there with you, man. With or without Donovan Mitchell, I think we're going to be. Without Donovan Mitchell, I think we're going to be a good team, and that's what I want us to be this year, man. I'm tired of the Knicks for the last couple of years have to want to wait for the big player in the draft and moving. I want us to become a team that doesn't have to play in the draft too much. You know what I mean? I want us to be a good team. I want us to stop thinking about getting a player in 2 years. We're going to get this player here to bring him here, and it's going to take 2 years to get him here and 2 more years for him to get acclimated on the floor. Let's get with these guys. And once again, you said it earlier, Devon, if we get Donovan Mitchell, we're not playing with the drafts anymore. Anything with those 22 drafts that we got, they are going to be trade pieces, man. We are not going to pick up any pieces right now in the draft. We got two guys in the G League right now. We may have to fill out this roster a little bit more with what we got. Get another veteran or something like that, another 2 veterans, but this team is going to be soaring, man. I could just imagine if the Donovan Mitchell trade goes down, and with the Donovan Mitchell, I hate to say it out loud, but if Obi goes in that trade and we get MELO to play with D Rose, we're going to be a better team, man. Our second unit is going to be a better team, man, and we're going to be a team to really be. I know. I'm not one of the players that think. I'm not one of the fans that think that to try to devalue our players. I always talk about our players as what I want them to be or how they should try to elevate their game. And the guys that we got here are proven, man. I mean, RJ has elevated his game every year. Yeah, we talk about his efficiency, but if that's the only thing that he has to fix alongside with his free throw shots. This year might be the year that he comes out and be 57. He's 57% from the free throw. I mean, from the field goals this year. He's 82% from the free throw line this year. That that may elevate him into an all-star. I mean, one of those all-star things this year. Who knows? You know what I mean? But I want to stay optimistic because I think this team is going to be a good team. On paper, they look like they can get together, gel together, and bring us somewhere between. I think somewhere 6 to 8. Even if we go to 6 to 10, I'll take a play in because if they make a play in and then beat the play-in team to make it into one of the positions to become a playoff team, that's an advancement for us this year, man. I want us to be a good team. So if we can make a playoff I mean, if we can make a play in and then make it into the playoffs, that's a good tell for us. You know what I mean? You know, and by the year after that, if we can elevate ourselves from being a play in team to a play off team, that's even better, man. I want us to strive to be better, man, because these next 22 picks that we got will lessen whatever we have to give to if we make the trade for Donovan Mitchell. You know, the 5 and 11, 15, 16 picks. We're really not going to use too much of those picks, only for trade.
Hey, check it out. Let's say if what's out there, ladies and gentlemen in the chat, and everybody, salute to everybody, man. I appreciate y'all coming in, my man Jarvis, Danny, my man Tone Wu, salute my brother.
Salute Tone, salute Tone
Gibson. But check it out though. Let's say they did decide to go Obi Toppin, Fournier. Let's just say they did Grimes, hypothetically. You know, though we don't want to lose him, but think about this here: if the Knicks got Brunson, Mitchell, RJ, Randle, and Mitch, and then you said you got D-Rose at the point, quickly to back up 2, Cam Reddish to back up 3, MELO and Harkenstein. That's a legit backup second. That's true. That squad is nasty, bro. Derrick Rose, Emmanuel Quickly, Cam Reddish, MELO, and Harkenstein.
Yeah, I'm with that too.
That's legit. That's you got 3-point shooters. Derrick Rose can get to the bucket, Quickly can get to the bucket. You know what I mean? Cam Reddish can do what he do with that frame, at that 6'8" frame with them nice shoulders. So I think the Knicks got to put. That's only 10 guys. I mean, then you still got Sims who might have to be rotational. You know what I mean? Things like that. You fill the roster out with other pieces. Keel and these guys, Furry and Hunt.
You still got Deuce too. You still got Deuce there.
Deuce, yeah. I think he might go on the deal because I don't think they got room. They're gonna keep Derrick Rose. Way Quickly to play combo. But that's interesting, man. I think that would be pretty pretty interesting. So I think that team would be pretty loaded right there. And that's why I'm confident about no matter which direction, like Tone Wu said, no matter which way the Knicks go, I still think we got a deep team. And if you don't do Donovan Mitchell, you know Quentin Grimes gonna have a good year. You know what I mean? You know he gonna have us. I'm looking for him to break out. I mean, you keep Cam Reddish. But it's still gonna be hard with Fournier. Somebody's gonna be out of the rotation, obviously. But no matter which way the Knicks go, man, I think we're gonna be a pretty solid team. It's gonna be a tough out in the East. East is gonna be loaded, but I think with the team I just talked about, I think we can compete with anybody. I really do.
Yeah,
I think we can compete with anybody. So let's hope that it goes the right way. We improve our shooting this year, and hopefully our numbers is better, especially for the charity stripe. We proved that alone. We pretty decent. But we can get that 2-ball back, two ball percentage points up higher in the 2-point area and get close to 37% from the 3-point line team-wise. I think we'd be a pretty dangerous team. I mean, I think we'd probably be a pretty good team, man. So I'm looking forward to it, man. See what's popping off in the pretty soon. Like I said, training camp going to start. Let's hope that we can get this thing going, man. I'm really like what I'm seeing what the Knicks are doing, man. I think the acquisition of Jalen Brunson is going to be huge. I think you can't underestimate that.
Facts.
I think that's going to be huge, man. And the brother, he's a winner, and they brought in a winner, and I'm good with that. You know what I mean? That's what you need. He got the attitude. He from the area. He know the area. He understand the area. It ain't like he gonna get in Masquerade Garden and people gonna make him choke. Jalen Brunson, listen, he ain't fooling under pressure. You know what I mean? Like him and RJ, man, they think about who they played for in college. Mike Krzyzewski, RJ. He used to this stuff. That's why he can handle the bright lights. Look at Jalen Brunson, Jay Wright, Villanova, 2 national championships back to back. These cats, they can handle this stuff. You know what I mean? Not everybody can come here and do this stuff. You know what I mean? And in Mecca, you know what I mean? But we got players who can do it here. Julius Randle embraced. Look at what he embraced. He popped off 24 and 11 one year. So we got cats who embrace the city, could play in the city, ain't scared of the bright lights. That means a lot, man. And I think this is a hard place to play. You know what I mean? It's a hard place to play, man. It's basketball. This is basketball heaven right here, man. You got them on every corner almost. Like shit, courts is like liquor stores. You know what I'm saying? So basketball courts everywhere. So I think we got to stay locked in, man. And hopefully Knicks have a good season, make them feel good, get to the playoffs, and hopefully we can make some noise. Well, the next couple of weeks will be interesting, guys, before training camp get here. We see I think the Mitchell thing going to pop off. To me, I think it's going to happen. I really think it's just a matter of when. I think it's going to happen. So I'm really close to like 75, 80% that's going to pop off. I really believe that there's just too much smoke out there for it not to happen. You know what I mean? And like Frank Michael said, they got the City Field thing, and the Mets on August 30th honoring the Knicks. What that tell you? You know what I mean? They honor the Knicks. I think Obi Toppin might be the one that played there, but Don DeMento father work in the organization. All this shit gotta line up, bro. You know what I mean? So, I mean, it just gotta line up. A couple. I think it's gonna be 3 days from now, probably Tuesday or something like that. And the Mets, the Knicks, they honor is called New York Knicks Night at City Field. They got an honorary player from the Knicks going to be there. Don DeMento father works in the organization. Wouldn't be surprised. Might be Don DeMento walk out on the field. You know what I mean? So we'll see how it go, man. But it's been fun, man. Y'all cats really, really, real deal up in that chat, man. I appreciate y'all so much coming in here with me and Shaw Powers, listen to us, do what we do. We appreciate y'all, man. Real talk, man. Without you cats, ain't nothing popping off up in here, man. Chat is where it's at for sure. But now we're gonna stay locked in on this stuff, man, and see what's happening with the Don DeMento thing moving forward this week. Whatever's out there, man. We just try to bring the content to you guys, man, and keep y'all engaged. I know we got a lot of great content creators out there, man. One thing about this Nick Talk, we got people popping off with MBK, Blanche Tears, everybody, man. Nick Fan TV, Nick Buzz, my man, CT. You got everybody, man. We got them all out here. If I forgot you, y'all know you forgive me. But one thing about it, man, it's a big Nick conglomerate, man. The big Nick family. We got content creators out there dropping jewels all over the place. So you're never gonna be sure to get some Nick content, that's for sure. But what we do in Knicks Real Talk, man. We try to keep it real 100, real talk, no hyperbole up in here. We try to keep it moving, man. Just give y'all our truth from our perspective and engage with our brothers and sisters in the chat. That's where it's at. Like I said, without y'all, it ain't nothing. You know what it is. But it's good, man. But we're gonna get up out of here, man. We'll see y'all. Y'all look for the notification, man. Hit that like and subscribe out the door, man. Tell a friend. We trying to get to what we try to get to so we can bless y'all with more creative stuff on the channel, bring more content, more creative, and get more innovative. This year gonna be fun, but we're gonna be bringing in a call-in show. We're gonna be in the phone up. We're gonna open the phone line when the season start. We're just gonna be getting it, man. We're gonna be getting it, guys. So y'all bear with us. If y'all looking for the hot joint that coming out and in the building with Divine, it's gonna be another show. But y'all cats got to check out the bars though in the song. This shit is fire. So I'm gonna drop that maybe on Knicks Real Talk in the next maybe the next couple of streets. I'll let y'all hear it. Shit is crazy though. The bars is hot, the monologue is hot and everything, man. So y'all look out for that. In the building with Divine, I'm gonna be dropping that. Just somewhere I'm gonna be interviewing certain people in the industry, man. But we us, me and Shaw Powell and Katie, we do. Knicks Real Talk gonna be in the building. This is another jump off on Knicks Real Talk, man. So y'all look for that. But my man Shaw Powers, you back off the moon. I know it was good. Cruising without a bruising. Talk to me, man. Give me some thoughts, brother. Let the brothers and sisters know.
Yeah, I just want to give a great shout out to you, Divine, as always, man. My brother, man. You let's keep it going, man. Salute to the chat. As always, is where it's at. Y'all keep it. I just looked at the time. We Joseph for 2 minutes, man. Just reading you guys' chats and getting the information that y'all put out there. And just letting us sit here and, spit bars with y'all about how we feel and what we think we can, what the Knicks team can do for this year is a great show. I mean, it's a great thing, man. So salute to all you guys out there. Jarvis, Keith Turner, E. Gibson. Great. Thank you for the new subscribe, Rugged 89, G-Man. 78, all you guys out there, make it easier for me to get on here and talk Knicks with you guys, because ALX is always around and stuff like that. We think alike. We may differ from a little bit, but we always come back to the same point. You know what I mean? So, and I appreciate that, and the love is there, man. So salute to you, Divine. Salute to the chat. That's where it's at. Let's get it.
Yeah, real talk, man. Salute to the most wildest people on the planet up in this chat, man. These cat. That's why I call y'all an invisible panel. Yeah, we might not see y'all face, but we see y'all thoughts and y'all creativity and your wisdom and your knowledge, all that good stuff, man. Y'all cats got it popping, man. Real talk, man. That's real. And listen, man, y'all enjoy your Sunday. Be safe out there in the universe, man. You know how it is out there, man. Y'all do your thing, fine, because y'all know how it is out there, man. But it's good, man. Knicks Real Talk, the chat, everybody wherever you stream them from. Thank y'all for coming in tonight, man. Hanging out with the brothers, man. You know how we do. And we'll see y'all in the next episode. Run them up with the thumbs up, and we're gonna get it, man. And we're gonna get it, man. So y'all go down there and down to Mitchell. I told Shaw Powers last week it'd be a week that we'd be having him in a week. I got about 3 days left. So I told him, don't come. I eat my crow with some sweet baby rays. It's all good. I eat my crow. But Donovan Mitchell will be in a Knicks uniform. I just can feel that, man. This thing got to come here. So if he do, we don't lose a lot of men, a lot of pieces to get him. But if he come here, I think he's gonna make us a better team as well. So it's a win-win, like Tone Wu said. No matter which way we go, with him or without him, the Knicks gonna be in the building. So to all the brothers and sisters, man, salute, man. My man, Shot Powell, I love you, my brother. I'll see you on the next
right back at you, man. You know I love you.
Yeah, man. In the chat, peace. Y'all be safe. Enjoy the rest of y'all night. Knicks Real Talk, man. Let's get it, man. Peace.
Let's get it.
Peace.
Time for Divine Shot, KJ Events. This Real Talk's the brand. You understand how we do, my man. I'm on that Friday night Knicks shit, dripping in Knicks shit. Up in the world, most famous arena with a clip. That's the conglomerate. The Knicks Real Talk is real prominent. I'm a bit like the Omicron variant, I'm dominant. Paying homage to the cats in the chat. That's where it's at. Cause I'm hearing that. You don't care for hyperbole, we straight facts. We interact with the mob, the gods. Up in the pod, the squad, the facade. My entourage be on the job, my energy. Feel me tripping in tempo. As they cook my game plan, and my brand for loot and pursuit. Going hard like the New York City gritty committee. Cause that the Knicks we know is pretty, but we all stay giddy. But we embrace the fan base like the late Anthony Mace. We create the logo with those headspace that appear like Squarespace. Staring down on the Chase Bridge, look at that Knicks City drip. And 50 dashes on the court, looking pretty legit. I stay true to the orange and blue. I thought you knew for him a few bars to shine like Star Divine to Mount Mars. Knicks Real Talk. Here we go, let's go.
Knicks Real Talk right here. I'm representing
Knicks Real Talk.
right here. Let's get it.
Here we go, let's go.
We here in the building.
Knicks Real Talk.
Let's get it.
Here we go, let's go.
Yeah, for real. Yes, sir.
Knicks Real Talk.
We here.
Here we go,
in the
let's go.
building. Let's get it. Let's get it. Yeah, for real. Yes,
Let's
sir.
get it.